versus Adrian Price, fixing the CRB 24693, CRB 2557.
Not for us to move, Your Honor, is it?
No, you can stay where you are.
Okay.
I did get a text from my contact at PAP, and I think I told you all that he had texted the therapist, and so I finally just texted him back and said, look, we don't need a formal report, we just need to know if she's compliant or not. So he texted back and said, yes, she's compliant. So maybe we can get a more formal report at the next hearing, but I thought that was sufficient to go forward and set another hearing. If that's what everyone wants to do in this matter. Mr. Hill?
We just want to make sure that she's continuing to receive those services.
Yeah.
And I agree, Judge, if we could do the 14th or 17th of October,
Let's do the 14th.
that's fine. On the 5th, okay. She said
She
she
can
can
do
do
the
the 15th, the weekend.
At 5.
At 5?
I'm the last patient.
I don't know if I do it after that appointment or before. I'm here both days. 14th or 17th.
Oh, she has an appointment
On the 15th, so I'll
Well, maybe it's better to come back then on the 17th.
see how the appointment went. Sure, that's fine.
And he's going to call me a little bit later after court too, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's good.
We'll set it for the 17th then.
Okay. Thank you,
We'll
Judge.
try to get a report, a more formal written report for that date, the 17th. Okay. Thank you, Executive. Thank you. All right, so now we've got State versus K, 2513. Mr. Ashworth is here, Special Prosecutor. And Mr. Holt is Defense Counsel. Parties are ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, we move for the witnesses to be sequestered.
Okay, so you're invoking the rule.
Yes.
When I first started practicing in Florida, some other attorney stands up and said, Judge, we're invoking the rule. I said, gosh, I went to law school for 3 years and I don't know what the rule is. The rule is the separation and sequestration of witnesses. So if you're going to be a witness, we want you to testify as what you know, not what you hear other people say. So you got to stay out of the courtroom until you're actually called as a witness, except for the defendant, and the state can have one representative too. So I'll let the lawyers police their witnesses and make sure they're out, and I've turned off the speaker so they don't hear what the other witnesses say. So do you, want to make any openings or?
Briefly, Your Honor, I can. On behalf of the state, on December the 24th, 2024, at Scotttown Diner in Scotttown, Lawrence County, Ohio, Dylan K., the defendant present in the court today, knowingly caused physical harm to another person in violation of 2903.13a of the Ohio Revised Code. Specifically, you'll hear evidence from a victim, his wife, and 3 witnesses that Mr. K. grabbed Mr. Wendt by the throat with his left hand, punched him with the right hand, potentially several times, enough times to knock his teeth out, and then left the scene. They're going to claim a justified self-defense through a witness that came forward 10 days later and is going to try to convince this court that he saw it all and that my witnesses are wrong. Thank you.
Please, court, Your Honor. One thing I do agree with Mr. Ashworth in this is that Mr. K did end up striking the alleged victim, but it was because the alleged victim struck both the defendant's wife, who is a 4'11", approximately 95-pound female, and Mr. Cade, after Mr. Cade went over to assist his wife after being pushed by the victim. Your Honor, there's multiple people that claim to be witnesses, but I asked the court to pay attention to what witnesses saw what parts of this event and the details that they are able to describe the event with. So, Your Honor, we believe that there is both defenses of self-defense and defense of others here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ashworth, you can call your first witness.
Sure, I'd call Mr. David Wendt to the stand.
David Wendt.
David Wendt.
Sir, if you come up to the witness stand, I'll swear you in. It's the first chair on the raised platform.
Your Honor, do you do a podium? Do you, the counsel can sit at the table? What do you prefer?
However you feel comfortable, I'm fine if you want to sit or stand. Sir, if you raise your right hand, we don't have a podium though. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Say your name for the record, sir.
David Went.
And,
You can be seated, sir. It's not London, you don't have to stand in the dock while you testify.
we're here today for a criminal trial. Can you tell us about an occurrence that happened in Scotttown on Christmas Eve of 2024?
Yes, sir. I was dropping my grandkids off to their father, and his girlfriend at the time,
And for the record, are you pointing towards
To
Dylan?
Dylan.
Okay.
Dylan's girlfriend at the time, they got out of the car and walked over to mine.
So you're at Scotttown Diner to exchange
kids.
children, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
And you're giving the children to whom specifically?
To their dad.
All right. And Dylan is their father?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how are you related to Dylan?
He was my ex-son-in-law.
Okay, very good. Continue, please.
Anyway, they both walked up to the car on the passenger side, and Abby started yelling.
Abby is Dylan's,
His girlfriend and wife at the time.
his girlfriend at the time and his wife currently, is that right?
Correct.
All right.
Anyway, I said, Dylan, I can't hear you. You need to walk around. He walked around to my side of the car so I could hear him. And we were talking. Weren't arguing. I've never even argued with this man in 12 years that I've known him. Sat with him at ball games. No problem with him whatsoever. So they started getting into it over on the other side. I said, here we go. Let's go. We walked around. I stepped in front of my wife because she had gotten out of the car. Stepped in front of my wife like this and pushed her back and told Abby, pointed back, said, just go to the car. Just go.
Okay, let's stop right there. So, from my understanding, let me make sure the court understands, you and Mr. Cade were having a conversation at the same time that Abby, his then girlfriend, current wife, and your wife were having an argument on the other side of the car.
That's correct.
And you got out of your vehicle. Dylan is already outside of his vehicle at that time, right?
He's on my side of the car.
He's standing
Yes.
beside your car.
Correct.
You and Dylan walk over to where the women are arguing.
Correct.
Are the women physically fighting each other?
They're just yelling at each other.
Okay, and why are they yelling at each other?
Because from past court, Dylan was granted that he didn't have to pay child support. It was over child support, which is none of my business whatsoever. And I just stepped in front of my wife, pushed her back a little bit, told Abby to get in the car, and next thing I know, I'm grabbed from behind, slugging up against the car, choked. I had bruises on both sides of my neck, which was submitted to the courts. And then the next thing I know, I'm trying to block where he's choking me out. I hit it twice, knocked it twice. Next thing I know, I'm hit twice. One broken tooth and big swelling on my head. And that's the last thing I remember. He knocked me to the ground.
Do you recall how many times he hit you?
I know of 2, and it could have been more.
Did you lose a tooth?
Yes,
And did you have to have dental work done?
yes.
How much was your dental work?
It was $4,000 I submitted it.
Okay. Prior to the point in time when Mr. Cade grabbed you by the throat, had you ever struck or hit him in any way?
I'm going to
No,
object, it's
never
a
had.
leading question, Your Honor.
Leading,
Never had.
if I said, didn't you, isn't it true that you didn't hit him? That's leading, Your Honor. That's not what I said. Was there any altercation at all between you and him before he grabbed you?
There was none.
Was there any altercation between you and his girlfriend at the time, wife, before he grabbed you?
Zero.
How big is he?
6'4", probably 265, 285,
How old is he?
32.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm 65.
How big are you?
I'm 5'10", 165 pounds.
Okay. If you were sequestered, but I'll let you know that their attorney says that you started this fight.
I'm gonna
You
object, Your Honor.
hit his wife, you hit him, and and he was defending himself and his wife. What do you have to say about that, sir?
I can't say it in court. That's bogus. That never happened. I have witnesses to state that too.
Okay. And who are the witnesses to that?
I don't even know them.
Are they here?
Yes, they were on the police report.
Okay.
That was made out. And the cop himself said, you need to press
Objection.
charges.
Okay.
Sustained.
No further questions.
Cross.
Mr. Went, you said that the argument was over child support?
Correct.
Isn't it also true that Dylan was granted custody of your step-grandchildren?
Has custody?
Yes.
At the time, were having shared custody.
Okay, at this point in time, you are aware that now Dylan has custody of the children, correct?
Yes, but their mother still sees them.
Okay. That's every other weekend?
No.
It's not?
Every week.
Every week? Okay. How do you know that?
I see them myself,
How often do you see the kids?
every week.
So if I show you a judgment order, or entry, that says that she has visitation every other weekend, would you say that's not correct?
I mean, that's between those two, not me.
Okay. Do you have, where's the tooth at? The tooth got knocked out?
Right here.
Where's the tooth at?
I think I've got it at my house,
You do?
actually, yes. I've got pictures,
Really?
yes.
Where was it at? Where did you recover it at?
It was, there was a girl by the name of Leanne Black that said, David, there's your tooth right there.
Why didn't you show it to the police?
I was rattled at the time.
Okay, so you understand that there's no tooth in evidence or no tooth that was recovered?
There was a tooth recovered. I have it.
Okay, has that been produced at all, or? Is that a yes or no?
Guess not.
What?
No.
Okay. And isn't it true that Dylan and Abby had contacted you and your wife, or I believe it's through your wife, to offer visitation for Christmas with the grandkids on that same day that,
Not that I'm aware of, no.
not the what you're aware of? So how did you get the kids on Christmas Eve?
His ex-wife was working that day, and we had to drop them off, as we've done 100 times.
Okay, so you're not aware that Dylan voluntarily let you see the children on Christmas Eve?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Do you have any grandparents' rights to the grandkids?
I do not.
Okay. So would that tell you that it was a voluntary decision by Dylan to let you see the grandkids?
At that time, his ex-wife had them, and we were just returning them.
Okay. So can you lay out for the court, what was the position of your vehicles, both yours and Mr. Cade's?
I was parked like right here at Scott Down Pizza, and they were parked here.
So if I'm, say that where the judge is at the bench, if that is the front door of Scotttown Pizza,
Okay.
where's your vehicles?
I was parked right here, and they were parked over here,
So where was your vehicle?
right here.
You were on that side.
Yeah, I'm sitting over here,
Where's their vehicle?
over on this side.
You're saying that their vehicle wasn't next to yours?
No,
How far away was it?
50 feet maybe.
Okay. How long do you think Scotttown, the front of that building is a Scotttown?
I have no idea.
Okay, how many parking spaces?
I have no idea on that either.
Why do you think it was 50 feet then?
I'm just guessing.
So you're just guessing?
Yes, some of that. I mean, I'm just looking at the difference between the cars.
Okay. What was next, was there any other cars next to your vehicle?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No, there wasn't. There was somebody that pulled in during the time, but other than that.
What kind of vehicle was it?
I don't know.
Was there a pickup truck anywhere in front of the door?
I couldn't tell you the cars.
Okay. Did you see a propane truck
I
there?
did not.
Okay. So where did the confrontation occur? If you're on, so you were on this side of the door, meaning
Left-hand side.
the left-hand side if you're facing it, and Dylan's vehicle was on the right side of the door. Okay? Is that what you're saying?
They were in the back, yes. But they were over.
I really am trying to understand what's the back mean.
The road goes this way, they pulled in over on this side, and we were parked this way. They were sort of in an angle.
There are marked parking spaces in front of that.
They were not parking in parking space.
They weren't?
No. They were parked in the back, just to pick the kids up.
Okay, so you're saying that Dylan's vehicle was parked in the back of Scotttown Pizza.
Out front, toward the road.
Okay, so I'm familiar with that building. If the judge's bench is the front door, where you walk in there, you agree there's a small sidewalk in front of the building?
Correct.
Probably about 5, 6 feet wide.
Probably.
Okay, you agreed into this blacktop parking spaces then after that until you get
Correct.
with the highway. Okay, we're on the same page.
Mhm.
So if that's the door, you're telling me that Dylan and Abby were parked over here?
Parked over there to the side, yes.
Okay, and you were parked over by where you're standing?
Correct.
And were there any vehicles between you two?
No.
Okay. Could you see your vehicle from where you were parked? Could you see their vehicle, excuse me, from where your vehicle was
Yeah, I
parked?
saw them pull in, correct.
Okay, so was the front of your vehicle parked towards the building or towards the
Toward the
road?
building.
Okay, so is it then, where was your wife when you were talking to Dylan?
Sitting right beside me.
Okay, so you were both seated in the car, is that correct? Okay, so Dylan is talking to you while he's standing outside your door.
Dylan, yes.
It's a polite conversation?
Yeah, I mean, not even a cross word.
Okay. And you were, at that same time, you're saying you're observing Kim, your wife, and his wife, Abby.
The reason he walked around is because I could not hear him, because they were arguing.
Okay, so then you got out of the vehicle?
After he walked around and we were trying to talk, yes, I said, here we go. I said, let's go. And we went around to try to break them up.
So you got out of the vehicle so that you two could hear each other, you and Dylan, is that right?
I went to break them up,
So the reason you got out of the vehicle was to stop a conflict?
to start a conflict between two people.
Who are those two people?
It would be my wife and his wife.
Okay. When you got out of the vehicle, did you see any vehicles that were farther away from the building, like on your driver's side?
There was something over, I don't remember what it was, I think it could have been a truck, I'm not gonna tell you, I saw something, there was a vehicle there, that's all I can tell you.
Okay, so the confrontation between you and Dylan, did it happen away from the passenger side of your vehicle or right at the passenger side?
No, away from it,
How far away from it?
10 feet maybe?
So is it like directly in front of the front door, or is it?
No, it was over to the right.
Towards Dylan's vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't get any medical treatment that day, did you?
No, I did not, because I did not have insurance at the time.
And when you walked over to, you said stop the conflict between your wife and now Dylan's wife, did you make physical contact with anybody?
My wife, yes.
What did you
I grabbed
do?
her by the shoulders, stood in front of her and grabbed her. That's all I did, and pointed back and telling Abby just to go. Just go to the car, get in the car.
How far was Abby from your wife?
They were, I don't know, maybe a couple of feet from each other.
Okay. Did you see Abby ever hit the ground?
No, I did not. She did not.
When did your wife get out of the vehicle?
When Abby and them came over to the car and she was screaming at us.
But you said that your wife was in the car having an argument with Abby through the,
Yes.
well then how could she get out when Abby was
She
coming?
got out of the car because she'd had enough of it.
Okay. So she got out of the car, your wife got out of the car
Yes,
before
I
you
heard the car door slam, is what I did.
did. And that's
And that
the,
was my wife getting out of the car.
hearing that car door slam, is that why you got out?
That is why I got out. He told
Okay.
Dylan, I said, here we go, let's break them up.
What did Dylan say then?
Dylan didn't say anything, he followed right behind me.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Just one, did you see a big propane truck anywhere at Scotttown Diner on the day of this?
I did not.
Yeah. You were there for a while before, right? Is that correct? Right. And you never saw a big blue and silver propane truck
No.
anywhere? No further questions?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, sir. Does this witness need to stay outside for a recall, or is it free to stay in?
I think we'll reserve our right to recall.
Okay, so you'll need to stay out of courtroom, because you may be recalled as a witness again.
Let's call Jacob Bennett.
Jacob Bennett.
What's the last name?
Bennett, B-E-N-N-E-T-T, I believe.
Sir, if you come up to the witness stand, I'll swear you in. You You have to come around this way. The witness stand is the first chair there on the raised platform. Before you sit down, could you raise your right hand, please? You swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may be seated. Mr. Ashworth.
Say your name for the record, sir,
Jacob Bennett,
and where do you live?
proper good.
We're here today to talk about an incident that occurred at Scotttown Diner on Christmas Eve of 2024. Were you at Scotttown Diner on Christmas Eve of 2024?
Yes, sir.
Why were you there?
I was picking up pizza.
And who were you with?
My wife,
What's your wife's name?
Macy Bennett.
Macy?
Yes, sir.
And how long had you, how long were you at Scotttown Diner that day?
Not very long.
Tell me if anything stands out in your mind as to the events of your visit to Scotttown Diner on December 24th of 2024.
Well, we went to get pizza, and as we were waiting for our pizza to be done, my wife had screamed, "Oh my gosh," and I looked up, looked over, and we'd seen Mr. Cade hit an older gentleman. And then we got out of the car, and another gentleman that's here to testify to, he broke them up. He went around the car, and I come around the back side of the car. And by the time I got to the back side of the car, the other gentleman was there to break Mr. Cade, and the older man up. And then after that, the situation kind of resolved, and then they got in their car and they left.
Okay, let's go through that in a little bit more detail if you don't mind. I appreciate you. Who is, can you identify Mr. Cade that you're referring to?
Mr. Dillon, right there.
In the courtroom today, sitting at
Yes, sir.
the other counsel table, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you observed Mr. Cade strike an older gentleman, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that older gentleman in the courthouse facility today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you know him to be Mr. David Went?
I think, yes, that's his name.
As you were sitting waiting for your pizza, did you ever see Mr. Went strike Mr. Cade?
I did not.
Did you ever see, as you're sitting there, did you ever see Mr. Went strike a female that was with Mr. Cade?
I did not.
From your observation, it sounded like your wife drew your attention to the altercation, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you immediately look when your wife drew your attention to the altercation?
Yes, sir.
And did you see Mr. Cade with his hand on Mr. Went?
I did not at the time.
And you saw him, but you did see him strike Mr. Went with a closed fist?
Yes, sir.
How many times?
I only seen it one time.
What happened after Mr. Went was punched?
He went to the ground, and then the other man come running out of the store as I was getting out of the vehicle to separate.
So you reacted to this by getting out of your vehicle to go help?
To, yes, resolve the situation.
And another man that was in Scotttown Diner had apparently seen it as well, and he was egressing to the situation.
Yes, sir.
Do you know who that was?
I'm not off the top of my head, I don't know his name.
Is he here?
Yes, sir.
If I said that was Mr. Boggs, would you disagree with that?
No, I think that's who that was. He was working on Scotttown Diner at the time.
Yeah. Did you see a propane truck at Scotttown Diner at any point in time while you were there?
Yes, sir.
And where was it at?
Sitting right next to me.
Okay. And did the propane truck leave before the fight started?
He was there actually as it was going on.
Okay. And then where did he go?
He was filling propane in the store, or in the restaurant.
Was he in the restaurant when the fight was occurring?
Yes, sir.
So he wasn't outside?
No, sir.
And then I assume because he wasn't outside, he didn't stick around?
I'm assuming so.
Okay. You did stay around and talk to the police, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
You gave a statement?
Yes, sir.
Your wife stayed around?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Boggs, the other gentleman, he stayed around?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Went stayed around?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Went's wife stayed around?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cade didn't stay around?
No, he left.
And his wife didn't stay around?
No, she left.
And the eyewitness didn't, that their eyewitness in the propane truck supposedly that saw the fight didn't stay around, he left.
He left it.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett, did you know Mr. Cade or Mr. Went prior to Christmas Eve of 24?
I did not.
Okay. So am I correct in saying, is it your testimony that you weren't paying attention to any confrontation between anyone at Scotttown Pizza until your wife yelled, "Oh my God"?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long in time after your wife yelled, "Oh my God," did this whole event occur? Like, how long was it lasting? You said you saw Mr. Cade punch Mr.
It
Went.
was like 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, with the whole argument and the conflict and everything,
20 to 25 minutes.
after she got my attention.
Okay, so immediately when you turn, I mean, as soon as you look, I need to go, this is very important. What did you see immediately upon turning your attention to
When I
where?
turned my head, I seen Mr. Cade strike the older gentleman.
Okay,
And when he struck that gentleman, he went to the ground. And I
who's he?
got-
Who went to the ground?
The older gentleman.
Okay,
I had gotten out of the car, and as soon as I got out of the car, the other gentleman that is here to testify, he run out of the store, and I come around the car, he was around the front of the car, and by the time I got over there, the other gentleman had already separated the two,
okay.
Cade and the older gentleman.
What happens after they're separated?
The conflict just kind of dissolved, and they got in their car and they left.
So are you saying that's what took 20 minutes?
Yes, sir. Because they were arguing.
So you witnessed the argument?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did you see in the argument? You mean, you're talking about the argument before or after the punch?
It was right there in the middle of it. Before and after.
So but you just said that you did not witness anything until your wife said, "Oh my God," and then immediately Mr. Cade punched.
Well, obviously, as you're sitting there, you can hear you hollering and yelling.
Okay, well, what did you hear?
Well, obviously, conflict between them two. I mean, I wasn't listening close enough to hear what they said.
Who's
Word for
them,
word.
who is them two?
Mr. Cade and the other gentleman.
Okay. Did you hear any comments that were actually made?
I did not.
Did you hear what the argument was about?
I did not.
Okay. How long did they argue?
I just said 25 to 30 minutes.
Well, before the punch.
I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention until my wife said, "Oh my God," and then that was when I directed my focus to them.
Was it 1 minute, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Well, this is important.
What do you mean?
Object to form.
Was it-
He can answer it.
Was it 1 minute that you observed the pre-punch argument? Or was it longer?
No, it was longer.
Was it 5 minutes or longer?
I'm not sure it was 5 minutes.
Okay, so 5 minutes or less is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you have the windows rolled up or down?
Down.
Okay. It was Christmas Eve, it wasn't cold?
No.
Okay, so you're saying it was warm?
And, I mean, it wasn't real warm, but it was warm enough to have my window down.
Okay.
And I also smoke cigarettes.
Okay. So can you describe how the vehicles were laid out in the parking lot to the court?
So, front of the store,
Let's say the judge's bench is the front door of Scotttown
This is the
Pizza.
front door of the
okay,
pizza
I was
shop.
parked straight in front of the door, propane truck was to my left, Mr. Cade, all of them were right to the right.
So were there any empty parking spots or were they?
Yes, there was. There was an empty parking spot between me and Mr. Cade.
Okay, so let me get this right then. So are you parked with your front, like your passenger side is to the left when you're parked in front of the door? Or excuse me, your driver's side?
Yes,
Okay, so you had to pull out to get out?
yes,
Okay, in reverse. All right, so the propane truck, if I'm right, you're saying is in the parking spot to your immediate left?
yes, sir.
Okay, and then you're saying to the right, so where your wife's sitting on the passenger side, there's an open parking spot, and then it's a vehicle you don't know who belongs to who?
Okay, no, that was the older gentleman.
The first one?
That's Mr. Cade's truck, and then it was Mr. Cade's vehicle.
Okay, were Mr. Cade's vehicle and the older gentleman's vehicle separated by any parking spots?
No, they were right next to each other.
Okay, so they're in adjacent parking spots?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so does that mean you had to, isn't it correct that the confrontation happened between the two vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so does that mean you were looking
Through
through?
my right, through my wife's window.
So you're looking through the body and windows of the older gentleman's car?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what actual parts of their body could you see?
From waist up.
Okay, did you, prior to seeing the punch, And correct me if I'm wrong, you say immediately upon when you turn your eyes towards the punch, or towards the commotion is when you see the punch, is that right?
He was been struck, yes.
Okay. Did you see any other confrontation prior to that incident?
The only thing I seen was Mr. Cage strike him, and then when I got out of the vehicle, we walked over and we separated.
How much time do you think occurred between you witnessing Mr. Cade punch the older gentleman and Mr. Cade leaving? A minute, 2 minutes, 3? I'm just asking how many minutes it was.
5, 10 minutes maybe?
5 to 10 minutes. So what occurred during that 5 to 10 minutes?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's after a fight. You said you testified you were paying attention, right?
Right.
What did you see Mr. Cade do?
He got in his vehicle and left after we separated.
Okay, so, but you're saying there's 5 to 10 minutes there. What did Mr. Cade or anyone do once you're over there and after you said you witnessed a punch by Mr. Cade?
Okay, so when we went over there to separate the conflict, the other gentleman was telling him that this was not the time and place, that he needed to get in his car and leave. So they got in their car and they left with their children.
Okay.
And that was the end of it. Then we waited on the sheriff to get there, and we filed a report, and then we're here.
Do you remember a car being parked also in between your vehicle and the older gentleman's vehicle?
No,
A truck by chance?
no.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
I don't know if we're doing A or B, or A1, for defendants, is it A or 1?
We'll do that.
You know, the exhibits,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
have we entered the exhibits, I was out.
No.
This will be first, so it's Exhibit A, defense A.
Now, I'm assuming, Mr. Bennett, you've not seen this, but I'm going to show you a still photo. It's from a video. Do you recognize the scene? Is that an accurate representation of what occurred on that day?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain to the court what you see?
Well, I see me sitting in a car.
Is that your vehicle?
Yes, the Kia.
It's a small Kia SUV, is that grayish in color? Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you see to your right?
I see the older gentleman's truck,
How far is that from you?
probably 2 parking spots.
Okay. Prior to that, so was you saying the older gentleman's car is a green pickup with like a covered bed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And,
No, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. There was a truck in between there. It was an older gentleman.
okay, can you tell?
I think that was the owner of the store's husband.
Okay, what kind of truck was it?
I think it was a Ford Ranger.
So it was a smaller, mid-sized pickup?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you remember what color it was by chance?
Green, maybe?
Green? So there's an additional vehicle in between where you're parked and where the confrontation occurs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it fair to say it was difficult to see through your own car and 2 other vehicles to see this?
Okay, so as he was striking that gentleman, that truck was not there.
The truck wasn't there?
No, that truck had happened to come in after it was all done and over with.
Okay. But isn't it, so are you now testifying that the older gentleman's vehicle was 2 parking spaces
Yes,
over?
sir.
Not me, okay. All right.
Sorry, I got mixed.
That's all right.
I do believe his vehicle was red. The older gentleman.
Older gentleman's?
Yes, like a maroonish burgundy colored, like reddish color.
Well, I thought you just testified that the truck was the green truck. There's a green
No,
truck.
I'm talking about the older man that got struck.
Okay.
That was his car, the red one. The green car was the older gentleman that I think is the owner of the Scott Town Leases.
Okay.
That's her husband.
So then it looks like if you look on the other side of that small truck, there's a red vehicle. Is that the older gentleman?
Yes, I think that's the older gentleman.
So would that mean
That's
that looks to be more, do you agree that looks to be more than 2 parking spots?
No, I think it's 2 parking spots.
Okay.
He's in the 3rd parking spot.
Now, and then
That's 2 between me.
where the deputy who's seated here at the table is seated, is that where the propane truck was?
Right behind him.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I'll move to admit this so everyone just Okay, so you said another gentleman broke the fight up,
Yes, sir. He's here today to testify.
but you agree that in your statement, you stated that you wrote out for the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department, you stated that you helped another guy break it up.
Well, I was getting to help. I was there to help, but he'd already separated it by the time I got there.
Okay. And now, but the 5 to 10 minutes, or you said occurred after you, I guess, got out of the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Did you see any activity by the defendant or his wife?
No, sir.
Okay,
There was no activity after the one gentleman had separated.
okay.
There was nothing else after.
So you didn't see Mr. Cade yelling at the older gentleman?
No.
Okay. Let's talk, you said that another gentleman that actually broke it up came, did you say he came out of the store?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how did, you went behind your truck?
Yes. Got
Okay.
out of my car, walked behind my car, walked behind the older gentleman's truck and his car, walked around in between Mr. Cage and the older gentleman's car, and he was already there to separate them.
So is the other gentleman that came out of the store, you said broke it up, did he come out of the store before you got out of your car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't see him coming from so it'd be your left-hand side of the building to the left-hand side of, if you're facing it, you didn't see him coming that way?
No.
Okay. How do you know that the gentleman from the propane truck was inside during this occurrence? How do you know that?
Because I was watching him do everything before this happened.
What did you watch him see? What did you watch him do then?
He was hooking up propane lines so he could fill propane tanks.
Where's the propane tank in relation to the building?
I have no clue, but,
You said you were watching him hook him up.
well, no, I wasn't watching him hook him up. I was watching him drag the line to hook them up.
Okay. So where did he drag a line to? Like,
To the left side of the building, there's a door. When you walk through, there's a door on the back side, the left side of the building. You go through there and you're in the kitchen.
okay, so he took the line through the front door, or he
No,
went?
no, no, to the back door.
So
On
he
the
dra-
side of the left side of the building.
Okay, was the propane truck parked with its front facing the building?
No.
It was back
Facing
in?
toward the road.
Okay.
Back in.
All right. So, but you saw the gentleman in the propane truck take a line and go around the left side of the building?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When did you see him come back?
I was sitting in the vehicle waiting on the sheriff's deputy to come back, or to show up.
So but you didn't actually see the gentleman exit the Scotttown Pizza diner?
Not the diner itself, but I watched him get in the truck and leave.
Okay. So so you actually don't know where he was? Is that fair?
Which one?
The propane gentleman? The gentleman working?
Not in the store, no, I don't know where he was at the store.
Well, how do you know he was actually in the store when all this occurred?
Because I watched him walk in the store, but I don't know where he was at in the store.
Okay, so at different times, let me get this right. At one occasion, you saw him drag a line from the propane truck to the left side of the building, away from out of your sight.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then are you saying you also saw him enter the building?
Yes, sir.
When was that in relation to when you start paying attention to the confrontation?
Way before that even happened.
Okay, is it before you noticed any yelling or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you also, then after the confrontation occurs, did you witness the gentleman in the propane truck exit the vehicle? Or exit the building, excuse me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when was that?
Before it all happened.
Okay, so he's out of the, so
Out of
now,
the store, yes.
when the punch happens then?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was almost ready to leave. When I got out of my vehicle, that man got in his propane truck and left.
Okay, so does that mean now he was outside when the punch occurred then?
You could say that, yes.
Okay. Do you remember what color the defendant's, Mr. Cade's vehicle was?
I think a gray SUV maybe?
Okay. And so you stayed for some minutes after the event, is that right? Is that correct, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did you have any conversations with the older gentleman that was hit, that you witnessed be hit?
No, the only thing I was asked from him if I could stay and take a statement since I seen it.
Did you see any marks on the older man?
Yes, sir,
Where'd you see marks at?
on his face. He had a missing tooth.
Okay, what marks did you see? Describe them.
On his face, right here on his cheek.
On his
Where he got
cheek?
hit.
Okay, did you
His
see?
mouth- His mouth was swollen, his lip was busted, his tooth was gone.
Okay. Is that it? Did you witness anything else?
That's it.
What about his neck?
I didn't see anything on his neck.
Do you remember telling the officer that you witnessed Mr. Cade grab the older gentleman by the neck?
No,
So you didn't witness Mr. Cade grab the older gentleman's neck, did you?
no,
Okay.
I don't remember that, no.
How do you know he lost a tooth? The older
How do I know he
gentleman.
lost a tooth? Because I was there waiting on the officers when he was waiting on the officers to take pictures. She was taking pictures of him while we were waiting on the officers to arrive.
Who's she?
His wife.
Okay.
That's why she came to me and asked me if I would stay and fill out a statement.
But you didn't actually see the tooth on the ground, did you?
Yes, he picked it up,
Where was it?
laying underneath his car.
It was laying underneath his car?
Yes, sir.
And you saw the gentleman do
On the
that?
ground, yes, he bent over and
Okay.
picked the tooth up.
All right.
Was holding it in his hand while he was sitting in the driver's seat of the car.
Okay. And do you remember what color do you remember how, let me ask you this then. How do you know that the gentleman that broke the fight up, how do you know he was working at Scotttown Pizza?
Because I know him prior to this altercation.
How do you know him?
Occasionally I run into him around.
You said you didn't know his name, right?
No, I don't know his name.
Well, then how do you know he was working at Scotttown Pizza on the building?
What do you mean?
You testified that you were aware that the gentleman that broke the fight up was working on Scotttown Pizza's building.
Yes,
How do you know that?
because he had a conversation with me, the older gentleman, and the woman, telling that he was there working on the pizza shop.
Following the event?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me ask, because I was confused on it. The guy you say broke up the fight didn't work at the pizza shop, he was working on the building at the pizza shop?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I could have been a little more clear on that, I'm sorry.
I misunderstand.
So, and also just to clarify, it's your testimony that, is it just before you got out of your vehicles when you saw the other gentleman that broke up the fight come out of the front door?
Yes, sir.
Object to form.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Just a few, if you don't mind, Your Honor. So, first of all, the gentleman in the propane truck, it's your testimony that he was entering his truck as you exited your vehicle to assist in stopping the altercation, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
When he was entering his truck, did he leave immediately after entering his truck?
Yes, sir.
So, did you see whether that individual in the propane truck actually was looking towards the fight, or did he just walk out and get in his truck and leave?
I did not see him look, I just watched him get in his truck and leave.
He never stopped, it didn't look like he was observing the fight,
No, sir.
you just saw him get in the truck and leave.
Yes, sir.
And you were closer to the men in the altercation than the propane truck was, correct?
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, you had a direct line of sight to the cars where the men were located when they were having the altercation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the propane truck was farther away than you were.
He was right off to the left side of me.
And did you, let me make sure I understand, there was some testimony about you looking through doors and windows. You were looking through your passenger side window where your wife was sitting, and through that window, then you had an unobstructed view towards the altercation. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And as you're looking through this unobstructed view, are you looking at the men above their car fighting, or through the windows of those cars?
Through the windows.
And what do you see specifically when you do that?
When I looked up and my wife said, "Oh my God," I looked over to the right and I seen Mr. K striking the older man. As soon as I looked up and looked through the windows,
Did it look like, how hard did he hit him?
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
Did he hit him hard enough, I guess he fell down though, is
yes,
that correct?
I mean, hard enough to lose a tooth.
Right, okay, very good. But are you, so, you know, this is important, as defense counsel said, you're certain that Mr. Cabe struck the older gentleman, you saw that with your own eyes?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't see any other fight or altercation between the older gentleman and Mr. Cabe?
No, sir.
Let's see. just so we're clear on this timeline, you testified to hearing a verbal discussion of some sort before you actually heard your wife exclaim, "Oh my God," and then you looked. Were those male voices or female voices, or both?
Both.
And you can't, is it correct that you can't tell us what anybody was saying?
I had no clue what they were saying.
That's fair, I just want to make sure I understand.
I wasn't really paying attention a whole lot to understand what they were saying. I just seen the old man, or him hit the old man, and then I got up to resolve it.
Understood. And what period of time, I guess is what I wanted to narrow down. So how long, keeping everything else out of your mind, how long did you hear the voices? Did you hear the voices for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute? Can you tell us?
Couple minutes maybe?
Okay.
10 minutes?
And after you heard the voices, when your wife said, did you continuously hear these voices until your wife said, "Oh my God"?
Yes.
All right. And when your wife said, "Oh my God," did you immediately look?
Yes.
All right. And can you tell us if your wife, do you know if your wife was watching before you were?
Yes, she was.
All right. Has she been watching the whole time?
That I'm not sure of.
Okay, so we'll have to ask her.
Yes, sir.
All right, no further questions.
She's not disclosed as a witness.
She's a witness. She's disclosed last time. I told you she was out there.
Okay, Mr. Bennett, you said you heard your wife scream, "Oh my God," and then you saw Mr. Cade hit the older gentleman. Does that mean that something would have happened to raise your wife's reaction, saying, "Well, like, oh my God," prior to you witnessing Mr. Cade hit the older gentleman?
I mean, I have no idea. I
Okay.
wasn't paying attention.
Does your wife often yell, "Oh my God"?
No, not really.
Okay. Was Mr. Cade standing when you turned your field of your vision to where you heard the sound? Was the older gentleman standing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what does the word unobstructed mean to you?
Unobstructed. I mean,
Let me ask you this then. If something is in the way of two different, your point of standing where your perspective is and the event you're observing, if there's something in the middle of it, would you call that obstructed?
I mean, yeah, but I could still see everything that was going on.
What's everything that was going on? Because earlier you testified that you couldn't see anything below their waist.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. Are your windows tinted?
No,
Do you remember seeing any, do you remember if any other of the vehicles had tinted windows?
no,
You don't remember?
no.
Okay. But Mr. Ashworth asked you that if you had a direct line of sight. You said yes.
I did.
But there were objects and distance in between that, is that correct?
There's windows, you can see through them.
Okay, but those windows, are they not contained inside of a car body? The body of a car?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so does that mean you couldn't see anything that was obstructed by at least one vehicle?
No, I could see them both, plain as day.
Okay, but you couldn't see their entire bodies, could you?
Right,
Okay. Does that mean that your view was at least partially obstructed?
yes.
Okay. Now, the first thing you saw after your wife said, "Oh my God," was that the punch from Mr. Cade to the older gentleman?
Yes, sir.
Did you see the older gentleman get pinned against the vehicle by the younger man?
No, I did not.
This written statement. I read on my statement, so let me see if I can find it. It's not written.
Well, you need his?
You mean him pinning him up against the head? Is that what you mean?
That's what I just asked you. I think that's in here. Can I use it?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mark it.
Go ahead.
So this will be D.
This will be the,
This is statement of Bennett.
yes, sure. Mr. Bennett, I'll hand you a document that's marked Defendant's Exhibit B. Can you look at that and see if you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
And what is that document?
My statement.
Your statement from, you know what day it was?
Christmas Eve.
So this was the day of the event you've been testifying about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you agree that your statement says that you witnessed Mr. K, or the younger gentleman with him, the older gentleman against the car?
Before you hit him, yes, sir.
Do you understand you just testified that you didn't witness that?
I didn't witness what? Him petting him up?
Yes.
That was before he hit him. I mean, before or after he hit him. He pinned him before he hit him.
But I just asked you if you saw, if the first thing you saw was Mr. K
Hit him.
hit him.
Well, obviously, I mean, you're gonna be pinned when he hits you.
Okay.
Against the vehicle.
So, but do you understand that what I just asked you to answer was not consistent? Do you want to fix that or straighten it out?
Objection to the argumentative nature of the question. He's trying to explain.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, Mr. Bennett, I'll just let you clear that up. I think the discrepancy is this: you never saw Mr. K holding Mr. Went with his left hand against the throat. You never saw that, correct?
Correct.
You did see, from your point of view, what appeared to be Mr. Went up against a car at the force of another person.
Yes.
And the only other person around was Mr. K.
Yes.
And that was right before the punch. Is that correct?
Yes.
No further questions.
I have no other questions, Your Honor, except I would move to admit Defendant's Exhibit B.
No objection to either one.
Okay, A and B?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will be admitted. Mr. Bennett, I have some questions for you.
Yes, sir.
So you get out of your car after you see the striking, and you go around, is Mr. Went still on the ground when you come around the
No,
car?
sir.
He's gotten up?
His wife had helped him up.
Okay. When you saw the striking, what was the position of Mr. Went and Mr. K? Was Mr. Went squared off? Was he like he was
No, he was.
in a contest?
He was up against the car, and when I looked, Mr. K had struck him while he was against the car.
So he was Mr. Went in ever an aggressive posture toward Mr. K when you saw him?
Not that I've ever seen.
Did you see any striking between other people? I think you testified that this was the only strike you saw between Cade and Went. But did you see any striking between females or other people at the scene other than Cade and Went at any time?
No, sir.
Just to make it clear. So you didn't see Went strike any other person other than Cade, a female or anybody
No,
else?
sir.
Okay, any questions based on my questions?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, sir. Thank you. Is he free to go?
I think I will reserve my right to call him too, so you'll have to sit outside, sir.
All right, yeah, you're still under subpoena, sir. But thank you for coming and giving your testimony.
I'd call his wife, Macy Bennett, to the stand.
All right, Mrs. Bennett.
Mrs. Bennett? She didn't get a statement.
Ma'am, if you come up to the
You can
witness
see
stand,
him
I'll
talking about.
swear you in.
It says, should I take a statement from her and copy it says I read
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may be seated, ma'am. And I understand your first name is Macy.
Yes.
How do you spell that, please?
M-A-C-I-E.
Thank you. Mr. Ashby.
Yes, I think you have already, but state your name for the record, so we've got a clear record here.
I'm Macy Bennett.
Okay. And you are the wife of Jacob Bennett.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're here today to discuss an altercation or an incident that occurred on Christmas Eve of 2024 at Scotttown Diner. So let me start off with some basic questions. Were you at Scotttown Diner on December the 24th of 2024?
Yes, I was.
And what were you there for?
I was picking up dinner in my truck.
And who was with you?
My husband.
All right. And as you were there, did you happen to observe an altercation between a group of people?
Yes.
Start us out. What drew your attention to this altercation first? My understanding is, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're sitting in your car in the parking lot. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And as you're sitting there with your husband and you're waiting on your food, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Take me back in time to that moment. What first draws your perception, your attention to this altercation or this incident that we're talking about?
I heard a conversation because my window was cracked and it started to get loud.
Okay, so I think we've got this narrowed down now, but you're sitting in a car in the passenger seat, correct?
Yeah.
And your passenger seat is, your window, passenger window is facing this thing that you're looking at, this altercation. And you have your window cracked, but not all the way down?
Yeah.
How far down was it?
Like it was cracked.
All right, and was it, not cold enough to keep your windows up, but kind of cold? What was the temperature, I guess I should ask you?
I don't know. I had a winter jacket on, so it was chilly, but I get hot very easily.
Okay, me too. Tell us what you hear happening. Can you make out words, or you just hear noises, or?
I know it was yelling, and then I heard the kids crying. And
You
that's
heard-
what drew my attention in most because it's, and it went worse from that.
Okay, so you heard, or when you heard yelling, was it male voices, female voices, or
Male
both?
voices,
Excuse me?
male voice.
Okay. And you then heard children crying?
Yeah.
And motherly instinct, that's when you looked over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Tell,
sorry, go ahead.
tell us what you see when you look over there.
I seen two men standing, and there's the younger man standing in front of the older man, and the older man was up against the car. And then it was like a split second, I looked over to say something to my husband, and the older man was on the ground.
Okay, let me see if I can unpack that a little bit. Did you ever see the older gentleman in an aggressive posture towards the younger gentleman?
I don't know.
Were you looking over there immediately prior to him getting knocked to the ground? Had you been observing them as they were arguing?
I'll be completely honest, I'm not a nosy person, but I am, so if I hear something going on, I'm going to look.
Okay, very good.
And I was like just, watching, but not watching.
Okay,
And I got very, very worried because it's an older man and I was raised different with things like that. So I can never see myself being in a situation, seeing an older person have something happen to him and not try to do the right thing.
okay. So let me make sure I understand. Are you telling the court that the older gentleman, he never struck or attempted to assault
Objection.
anyone?
No,
It's leading, Your Honor.
Yeah, it might have been, Your Honor, I'll withdraw it. Did the older gentleman ever strike anyone?
no, I'm not.
Did the older gentleman ever assault anyone?
No.
And this goes for both male and female. Did the older gentleman ever attack or take an aggressive posture towards any females over there? And did the older gentleman attack or take an aggressive posture towards any males over there?
No.
And you were observing this because you had heard the voices. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
heard the gentleman going on.
And tell us exactly, your testimony was that you saw the older gentleman pinned up against the car, is that correct?
Pretty much, he was so close to him that he was against the car.
So he was so close to him, so,
Not physically pinned up against the car, but he was back against the car.
okay, I
It
understand.
was like a trapped situation.
And for the record, who is the younger gentleman that you observed that day in the courtroom?
Yes.
And can you point the person out for us? Okay.
Record shows he pointed to the defendant.
Did you see the younger gentleman strike the older gentleman?
Not necessarily, but from the way it looked, you could tell it happened. Because the older man went from standing to on the ground.
Okay, fair enough. After the older gentleman went to the ground, what did you observe next?
It It was pretty chaotic, and then I seen the younger gentleman, and I'm assuming his wife, get in the car and leave.
How long, for a period of time, elapsed between the older gentleman falling to the ground and the younger gentleman and his significant other getting in their vehicle and leaving?
It was honestly it was pretty quick.
And by pretty quick, do you mean, and this is what attorneys do, was it more or less than a minute?
It was less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes, okay, good. Did you have any conversations with any of those people after the altercation?
Me and my husband did, yes. We went and checked on the older man and on the older woman and asked if they were okay, and they talked to us a little bit, and
Did you see any injuries on the older gentleman?
yeah.
What injuries did you see on the older gentleman?
He was missing a tooth, and he had a giant goose egg on his head.
Did you see any marks on his neck?
I honestly cannot remember if I did or not, but I know his forehead was really bad, and it had me worried.
Okay. How do you know he just wasn't missing a tooth? Because I don't have all my teeth, so how do you know he just didn't have that tooth?
I'm pretty sure while we were there, he ended up finding it beside, I can't remember what they were driving, the car that they were in. And he picked it up and said something to his wife, and I mean, I don't know if he has it or not.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure, so he had a goose egg on his forehead, is that correct?
Yeah.
And he had a missing tooth, correct? Did you see any blood?
Not really.
Okay, fair enough. And you stayed at the scene until the police officers arrived, correct? But why didn't you give a statement?
I asked if I could give a statement, and he said that he was gonna bring me the paper, and he just never came by.
So were there 2 officers there that day? Do you recall that?
No, I think there was one, I think he was redhead. That's best I can remember.
Okay. And whomever that was, just, you were ready and willing to give a statement, but your husband gave a statement and then it got wrapped up and you didn't give a statement that day. Is that accurate? Okay, no further questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, why did you say you didn't know if the gentleman had his tooth or not?
Because I don't personally know him, so I don't know if like people keep things like that or not.
Why do you think that's relevant? Has anyone said anything to you that make you feel that that's relevant?
No.
Okay. All right, you testified that you did not see the fight, that you, no punches, you never saw a punch, is that correct, or anyone strike anyone?
No, because they were on, so when I was in the car, my car was right here, I was on the passenger side, their car was here, and they were on this side of the car.
Okay, where was the older gentleman's car positioned? Now, we've been using this, the judge's bench is the front door of Scotttown Pizza, which I assume, are you familiar with the building?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree that there's a front door and in front of that there's just a normal sidewalk?
Yeah,
And then there's parking spots on blacktop pavement after that?
yeah.
Okay. Where was your vehicle positioned in relation to the front door of Scotttown Pizza?
The left, we were right in front of the left door.
So like you, just
Like
off,
if you're looking straight at the front doors, I'm on this side.
okay, on the left side?
Yeah.
So maybe one parking spot over from the front door? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and there was maybe two parking spots between me and the older gentleman's car.
Okay, and where did you see the defendant's car, Mr. Cade's car? The
Yeah,
young-
it was a silver, like SUV type car,
Okay, where was Mr. Cade's car in relation to the older gentleman's car?
like just a parking spot away.
So like they're next to each other?
Pretty much, but there's parking spot right between.
So there's an open parking spot between the 2 vehicles of the older gentleman and the younger gentleman?
Yes.
Okay. So you said that the older gentleman, you witnessed him on the ground, but how could you see him on the ground if the vehicle was blocking your view?
Because he was at the end of the vehicle,
Which end?
like by the back tire.
Okay, so is he even with the back tire or behind it so you could see it's behind the vehicle, or is it just,
Well, I mean, it was clear you could see 2 people standing there.
okay, and what kind of vehicle did the older gentleman drive, that you identified as theirs?
It kind of looked like a Jeep. maybe to me.
Like an
But
SUV?
built like a Jeep, I guess.
Were the windows tinted?
I wouldn't pay that close attention to that.
Do you think it's fair to say that typically the rear windows of SUVs are tinted?
Object to form, calls for speculation.
I don't know that it matters, whatever. It's on that,
So is it fair to say that you're in the passenger seat, you're looking over your right shoulder back towards where you identify the noise coming from?
No, I looked straight over and it was right beside me.
Okay, but you said that they were by the back tire.
Well, yeah, but I mean, sitting that far away, you can, not far away, but 2 parking spots over, you can see right beside.
Okay, so then, if the older gentleman's body of his vehicle is in between your line of sight and the event, how did you see the older gentleman on the ground?
Because you could see them standing. It was clear as day, you could see them both standing.
Okay, you could see them standing, but how could you see that one of them was on the ground?
Because he went to the ground.
But you said you didn't see that. You didn't actually witness anyone go to the ground, right?
No, I said I seen him go to the ground. But he went from standing to on the ground.
You saw the older gentleman's body physically moving to the ground.
No, I seen him he was standing at one point, I looked over for a second to say something to my husband, looked back over and he was laying on the ground.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand your perspective because you're in a mid-size, small to mid-size SUV, is that right, a Kia?
Yeah,
Okay, and you're saying you believe 2 open parking spots and then the older gentleman's vehicle,
yeah.
which you identified as a Jeep.
But I don't know exactly what it was.
So would you say it's a smaller mid-size SUV like yours? What would you describe it as?
Probably about maybe a little bit smaller than what mine is.
So help me understand how you, from the passenger seat, when you're sitting in the passenger seat, can see.
Right beside me?
Well, you said there's 2 open spots, correct?
Yeah, but that's not like nothing was blocking me. There was no other cars. It was my car, the older gentleman's car, their car, and then the workers in the side.
Okay. So, again, I want to get this straight. I'm not trying to be difficult.
No, you're good.
You could physically see the older gentleman's body from where you were sitting on the
Yes.
ground. So,
You could tell there were people standing outside of the car.
okay, I understand you could see other people.
Yeah.
Was the older gentleman's vehicle raised up, like had an aftermarket raised, or how
I
did?
have no clue. It just looked like a car.
Okay. How far do you think from the ground to the bottom of the older gentleman's vehicle? What's the distance between that?
I have no clue. That was the last thing I was thinking about or even.
I'm trying to understand how you could physically, visually see someone from where you're
Because they were
sitting.
right beside me. There was 2 parking spots right beside me. It's not hard to miss it.
Okay, so then if you know that the older gentleman's on the ground, do you still see Mr. Cade standing?
Yes.
Okay, does that mean he didn't go to the ground with the older gentleman?
No.
Okay. Did you witness Mr. Cade yelling or doing?
Yes.
What is him doing?
They were yelling. You could tell they were yelling, and then they were throwing their hands out the window when they were backing out.
So did you walk over to the vehicles with your husband?
After he left, yes. Because, to be completely honest, being able to see a younger person around my age put their hands on an older gentleman worries me.
Okay.
And I told my husband I wasn't getting out of the car until they left. They backed out. It was, the timing, I can't give you exact time because it all happened so quickly.
Okay.
But as soon as they left the parking lot, I got out. My husband was already out of the car with another gentleman, I don't know his name. And I walked over and I was checking on them and asking them if they were okay.
When did your husband exit your vehicle?
Before I did. Like,
How long before?
Maybe a minute.
Maybe a minute?
minutes.
Okay.
Because he was going to get out and he was going to try to break it up and make sure everything was cool and keep everybody apart and stuff like that.
So does that mean there was approximately 1 minute between your husband exiting the vehicle and Mr. Cade leaving? Since you didn't get out of the car, you said you wouldn't get out of the car until Mr. Cade left.
Yeah.
So is that fair to say it was, you said approximately a minute?
Maybe. Like,
You
I
don't-
mean,
you
I
don't-
don't know exact time, when stuff like that happens, it's hard to kind of keep track of things like that.
Okay. And when you said you were watching but not watching, does that mean you weren't paying close attention?
No, I was watching, but like I said, I'm a nosy person when foul stuff like that happens, but I'm not gonna be,
You testified that you were watching but not watching.
yeah, like, I'm paying attention, but I'm not gonna let other people know that I'm paying attention. Does that make sense?
Okay. So you never heard any female voices raised?
I heard nothing but men.
So now you're saying you were paying attention.
I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention. Because, I mean, if you go out in public and you see something going on, you're staring, and then someone else looks back at you, are you wanting them to look back at you? Or
So, okay, so that means you weren't looking directly at the situation the entire time, that you heard voices.
Objective form's been asked and answered, she's explained herself.
I don't know how to make sense of what she's saying.
I'll let her answer again. It's,
So what
it
happened
is what it is.
is we were
Pretty
down
much
there.
have a good idea of what.
Well, I'll withdraw my question, Your Honor, if it's understood. I really was honestly trying to understand. Was there a propane truck also in the parking lot?
No.
Okay. The gentleman that you said also was there that you didn't know his name, when did you first see him and observe him?
I went in, paid for my dinner, and they said it would be a couple minutes to wait on him. Went back out, and when I was coming out, he was walking in. And he's someone that used to come there and work on stuff for Missy.
Who's Missy?
She was my old boss.
So do you know Missy or do you know this gentleman? How do you know him?
I don't personally know him, but Missy knew him,
So you recognize him though?
kind of. I mean, it's not like someone that I
Well,
just,
then how do you know that he worked on stuff prior?
because I've seen him come in and work on stuff. I'm not saying like I know him.
Okay. When did you see him in relation to the event when you saw the confrontation on the other side of the vehicle? The armed gentleman?
Maybe like 1-2 minutes before it happened, because he walked in and then walked right back out as soon as it started.
Okay. So you're saying that he walked, when did you saw him exit the building, whenever this whole thing started?
Like when the older man was on the ground, yeah, he came right back out.
Okay. But you said that he followed you out of the,
No, I said when I went in to pay for my food, I came back out and he was going in.
how long were you inside getting your food?
I don't know.
Well, this is very important.
Well, I mean, that's not stuff I was
You don't-
trying to keep track of time with things like that.
Okay, so that mean that you missed some time period of being outside to observe anything outside?
I don't even know how to answer this. Because it's going back and forth, it's kind of confusing, but walked in to get my food. I paid for it. Didn't take very long at all. Walked back out. As I was walking out, the other gentleman was walking in. I got in the car. And that's when it all started. And that's when I started watching.
So does that mean that the gentleman wasn't inside the building very long? The other gentleman you said worked on the building before?
No, it was very, very quick when it happened.
Okay.
The whole incident was.
So when, in relation to you seeing the gentleman exit the building and your husband exiting your all's vehicle, what's the relation in time there?
I'm not sure at all. That's
Were they around the same time or different time periods?
when the other gentleman came out and when my husband got out of the car,
Yes.
they were very similar to
Okay.
around the same timing.
So does that mean that you were inside up until the event, almost immediately before the event occurred? Is that fair to say then? When you see the older gentleman on the ground?
No, the older gentleman wasn't on the ground until after I was back in the car and I was sitting in the car and we were waiting.
Okay. When's the first time you saw Mr. Cade?
That was the first time I've ever seen.
I mean, on that day, like, when did you notice Mr. K physically in the parking lot?
When the yelling started, I moved over.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't understand what you said, man. Can you repeat that?
When I was sitting in the car after I went in.
So you didn't notice Mr. K until you came out of the building?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they were standing there, and it was like civilized talking at first, and then is what it seemed like.
And when you're saying at first, does that mean when you're exiting the building?
Yeah, because I mean, like out of the side of my eye, you know, you can see people. So I seen them standing there, and then I got in my car, and that's the first time I've ever seen.
Do you know where Mr. Cade was physically standing in relation to the older gentleman's car? Was he in between you and the car or on the other side?
What do you-
Was Mr. Cade, when you first saw Mr. Cade when you were exiting, you first noticed him when you were exiting the building?
I'm pretty sure it was beside his car.
So in between the older gentleman's car and his car, Mr.
Yeah.
Cade's? Okay. So then you testify that shortly after you get back in your car is when you started observing the event?
Yeah.
Okay.
It started getting loud.
So does that mean it was a short period of time between you exiting the vehicle when all this, you're assuming that the old man went to the ground?
He did go to the ground, but it all happened very quickly.
Okay. Did you ever see, well, you said there wasn't a propane truck, okay. Did your husband help break up the fight?
No, he was going to get out to help break up the fight, but by the time he got out and the other man came out, he was already in his car leaving.
Who's he?
The younger gentleman.
Mr. Cade?
Yes.
Can you repeat I'm trying to get can you repeat what you just said? I'm trying to understand.
By the time I said something to my husband, because the older man was on the ground, he went to get out, and the other man was coming out of the store too. And he was getting in his car and leaving.
So by the time your husband got over to the area where this all occurred,
Yeah.
Mr. Cade was gone?
Yes, he left very quickly.
Okay. And that's when you said, and at that same time, is that the other gentleman who was working, you identified as the gentleman who worked on the building before, was coming out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, right when it happened, right? As soon as the older man was on the ground, if he was coming out, I'm assuming, because he might have seen something, or I'm not 100% sure, but he was coming out around that period of time, yes.
So, and then you testified that you didn't see Mr. Cade go to the ground, so would that mean that?
No, I didn't see Mr. Cade.
So does that mean then the gentleman?
Objection, that's not a representative of her testimony.
Well, I don't know if she was ever asked that question, but
I
I don't
think-
think there's been any testimony to that effect, so.
I think I did ask her that, Your Honor, that she said, I asked you if you saw Mr. Cade go to the ground when the older gentleman went to the ground, and he did not.
No, he didn't go to the ground.
Okay.
The older man was the only one that hit the ground.
Okay, so you just testified that when you realized that the older man has now went to the ground is when the gentleman runs out of the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in
So-
that time period, he was already getting in his car and leaving.
Him being Mr. Cade?
Yes.
Okay, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Briefly, have you ever spoken to Mr. Cade?
No, but my husband got text messages from him, and I don't know why, because,
You saw these text messages?
yeah,
Was this after the incident?
yes,
What did the text messages say?
that he didn't understand why he wrote a report, because he lied on it.
Who said who lied?
Mr. Cade said it to my husband.
So he's reaching out to your husband as a witness
Yeah.
in text messages.
And then I also called our phone plan to see if we could get the text messages back, and they said that we'd have to have like some type of sweep warrant or something like that.
Okay. So you don't have them anymore?
No, but they said that I could get them back if someone contacted them.
Okay. All right. And what was your perception of why he was texting your husband?
I feel like he was trying to get him to avoid it all and not say anything or,
Huh, okay. No further questions.
Okay, Your Honor. About these text messages, you're saying that Mr. Cade asked your husband why he wrote a report in which he was not honest in?
yeah.
Okay. You don't like that, do you?
But no, it's kind of like an invasion of privacy. I don't understand why he would feel the need to text my husband about it.
Okay, so that gives you a negative feeling towards
Yeah, it
Mr.
makes me very,
Cade?
very uncomfortable.
So is it fair to say that you're biased toward Mr. Cade, against Mr. Cade?
No, not for that. That's not fair to say that.
Okay, but you just said that you did not, you thought it was wrong and you had a negative feeling towards Mr. Cade.
Because he wanted to text a number that we didn't give to somebody. So.
Okay, so did you know Mr. Cade's phone number?
No, but you can tell it was him because who else would have known about that incident?
So you actually don't know if it was Mr. Cade texting, is that right?
Well, if I can get the phone number and text messages, yeah, I
Okay.
can tell if it's him or
So,
not.
since he you say, now let me get this right, you're saying that Mr. Cade texts your husband, or who you believe to be Mr. Cade, texts your husband's phone, asking why he said what he said in the report, if he didn't agree with it effectively, is that right?
Yeah, and I mean, called him by his first and last name also.
Okay. Called your husband by his first and last
Yes,
name?
said,
Okay.
Jacob, is this Jacob Noble?
Okay. Can you tell me how that makes you feel towards Mr. Cade?
It's not making me change up my story or nothing like that at all. If him texting him, even if he didn't text him, it's the fact of the matter that he thought it was appropriate to even go about doing that.
Okay, and you testified earlier that that gave you a negative feeling towards Mr. Cade.
No, I said it did not.
Okay.
It makes me uncomfortable, yes.
I have no further
Because-
questions, Your Honor.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, I've got a couple questions for you. I think I heard you say that you work at the pizza shop?
I did,
You used to?
yeah.
But
At
you
the
don't
time when it
anymore?
happened, I was working there.
Oh, at the time this happened, you were working there?
Yeah, because I was picking up my dinner and my check.
Okay, I thought you said that. You made a statement that I'm not really sure I understand what it means. You said, as I understood it, when Mr. Cade and whoever was with him left the pizza shop after this whole thing happened, they were throwing hands out the window. Did you say?
Like, kind of just like tossing their hands up and stuff like that, not like anything crazy, I would say, just like when you get aggravated, you just like toss your hands up type of deal.
And did you feel like this was a symbol to the people that were there, or a message, or what were they doing that they were throwing I wrote down, throwing their hands out the window. So that's why I was trying to.
Yeah, just like an aggravating feeling to the whole situation or something like that, maybe.
Okay. And I know lawyers really focus on time, and people, it's really hard to remember what
I've
time
never-
elapses, but,
I've
so
never-
I'm gonna ask you a question about that too. From the time you went in to get your dinner, and I assume pick up your check,
Yeah.
and when you came out, how much time was it between that and when you saw whatever occurred between Mr. Cade and the older gentleman? How much time was there?
See, this part, that's hard, because the way it went for me was, it was very, very quick. So trying to go back and estimate how long it was is kind of difficult. But I would say maybe tops 5 minutes.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Any questions based on my questions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hall?
Your Honor, I won't dwell on time. I think if we, do you want me to, I mean, I think if we all have,
If you have questions based on it, yeah, go ahead.
okay. Ma'am, you've stated, I feel like I want to get this right because I'm getting some inconsistent messages here. You're saying, you said it was a very, very quick time. You said very, very quick quote when you exited this pizza shop and got into your car in between this whole incident occurring, meaning when you believe physical contact occurred or when you think the older gentleman went to the ground.
What do you mean?
Okay. You said that it was a very, very quick period.
Yes, it felt like it went very, very quickly because
Okay.
it's stuff that I didn't grow up seeing.
Okay.
So when stuff,
So, but are you talking about the incident between them, or from the
The
time you
whole-
left the shop until the incident occurred, or the whole thing? That's,
like, it all went by quick. So trying to estimate and cut down to exactly how many minutes or how many seconds or anything like that, it's difficult for me to give you exact minutes or seconds that it all initially happened, because it happened so quickly in my brain.
Well, do you agree there's a big difference between 5 minutes and 10 seconds or 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think it's closer to under a minute or 5 minutes from when you exit?
As I was walking out of the pizza shop, my car was sitting right in front of it. Walked out, got in the car, could tell I can't say the word right, my side view, people were standing outside of their vehicles. Got in, had my window down, and was sitting, and it started getting loud. So that's when I started looking over, and I would keep looking over. One of the times I was looking over, the older man was against his vehicle, and the younger man was right in front of him.
How much time elapsed between you getting back in your vehicle and you believing the older man went to the ground?
2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, and then you also said that Mr. Cade was gone by the time your husband went to...
He was pulling out by the time my husband was getting out of the car.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, ma'am. Thank you. You want her to stay then?
Yes, please. I'll reserve my right to recall her. You just have to wait outside. Don't talk to anybody about your
You're still
testimony.
under subpoena, ma'am, but thank you for coming.
I call Randy Boggs.
Randy Boggs. Sir, if you'll come up to the witness stand, I'll swear you in. This is the first chair on the raised platform. And before you have a seat, if you would raise your right hand, I'll swear you in. You raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
You may be seated, sir. Thank you.
State your name for the record, please.
James Randall Boggs, second,
What do you do for a living, sir?
electrician.
Were you performing work at Scotttown Diner on Christmas Eve of 2024?
Yes.
What type of work were you doing out there?
I was fixing a stove for, putting a receptacle in for a stove.
Okay. How long did you spend out there that day? Do you recall?
Off and on all day. My house is right beside the store, so.
Oh, that's convenient.
I was off and on there just throughout the day.
Okay, very good. During the time that you were over at the Scotttown Diner on that date, did you happen to witness an altercation between two gentlemen?
Yes.
Take us back in time. Tell us how you came to realize there was even an altercation occurring to begin with, and then walk us through your observation of what you saw, please.
Right. I was walking back from my house to the store, and I seen the gentleman arguing. I was kind of jokingly about it. I walked in the store and I said, well, it looks like maybe a fight, just kind of joking around, talking, you know. At the time, I didn't see, it was arguing. I turned around and looked outside and seen him get the gentleman. And I walked out, I ran outside. Don't know, you know, that's all I seen was him hit him. I walked outside and stopped it. You know, I didn't want to see nobody else get hurt or hit, or, you know, I just walked up to the gentleman and said, hey, what's going on, you know? At that point, he had told me, he's like, well, he shouldn't have gotten in my face, I believe is what he said. I'm not 100%, you know, it was back in December. But that was about it, you know what I mean? I don't even know what it was over. Don't know what, I just seen that there was a kid standing there, and I didn't want to see nothing. When you get tempers flared up one end or the other, I know how that can be. As far as that goes, I didn't want to see nothing else, you know, happen there, you know, Christmas Eve.
Right.
That was about it. I broke it up, and I didn't really break it up because I think he was done by the time I walked over there.
Yeah, so let's unpack that just briefly. What gentleman, was the gentleman that struck another gentleman, is that gentleman in the courtroom today?
Yeah.
And can you point that out for who he is for us?
That was him.
All right, so all right, so your testimony is that the defendant, Mr. Cabe, you observed him strike another gentleman at the Scotttown Diner on that date.
Yes.
Okay, was it with a fist, a slap, or can you tell us?
I believe it was with his fist.
Okay, do you know how many times he hit him, if more than once?
I don't.
Okay.
I seen it one time. I don't know. Like I said, as I turned around and looked out the door, I seen it happen, and I ran out there right then.
Right. So let me make sure we understand. You are walking to the store from your house, and do you walk past these two gentlemen?
I did not walk past them. They were at the far end of the store from the door.
Okay.
My house sits here. They were on this side of the store, so I was walking towards it.
Okay, so you're walking towards
Past
the,
them.
you're walking towards the store, but you do not walk past them.
No.
But as you're walking towards the store, you can see that they are having an excited conversation.
All four of them.
Okay, and when you say all four, are you referring to 2 males and 2 females?
Yes.
Do you see there's an older couple and a younger couple, is that right?
That's right.
Do you see the younger couple, either of the younger couples ever assault or take an aggressive posture towards the older couple?
It was both ways, to tell you the truth.
Did,
It was a excited altercation on both ends. I've never seen no, like I said, I really wasn't paying 100% attention on both ends, because I mean, it's none of my, it kind of at that point, none of my business.
Right.
I thought, I just, so it was kind of aggressive on both sides.
all right, but when you're walking towards the store and you see this, nobody has actually physically started hitting each other, correct? There was I think you testified that when you actually went in the store, almost as a joke, you said there's going to be a fight. In other words, there wasn't a fight yet.
There wasn't a fight.
So take us, and this is probably the most important question,
Okay.
how long are you in the store before you turn around and see the younger gentleman strike the older gentleman?
Probably not even a minute.
Okay, less than a minute?
Yeah, because I turned around and looked.
Well, take us back there in your mind. I guess we need to know, so when you walk into the store, what's your goal as you walk into the store that day?
I was going to go ahead and start working.
Okay.
And the owner of the store was there, and I looked at her and said, altercation out here might be a fight. And I was kind of laughing, but I thought she should know that maybe she could go out there and say something. And as I turned around, is when I seen the,
How far into the store did you get until you had this conversation with the owner?
10 feet maybe.
Okay. And from that position that you're at in the store, you can still see out the door to the gentleman?
Yes.
All right, do you have a what they call an unobstructed view, or are there things in your way? Tell us how you can see him. Is it through an open door or a closed glass door?
Two glass doors sitting there, and I was standing there. And then, of course, with a heated conversation, I kind of thought in my mind too, maybe I should, but I didn't want to get in the middle of it because it's kind of none of my business. But then I thought, when I stopped and told her, I thought, well, maybe she wants me to walk out here and try to stop this, That was my thoughts as I walked through, you know what I mean? But as I turned around, that's when, there was two glass doors standing there.
Did she make any statements in response to your statement before you saw the younger gentleman hit the older gentleman?
The owner?
Yes, sir.
No. I mean, like I said, when I seen that happen, I was out the door.
So is it fair to state that you walked into the restaurant, made one statement about there potentially being a fight, then turned around and saw the altercation, the actual assault, with your eyes through the glass door and then exited the building? Is that correct? So did that take any longer than it took me just to explain it? In other words, are we talking about 10 seconds here?
It didn't, I mean, from the time I walked in the store, a little bit, maybe a little bit longer, but as I walked in, it wasn't a very long now.
Okay. So, and I know it's hard to.
I'm kind of.
It's hard to, look, I get it. It's hard to pick up.
I pretty much walked in there. As I seen it, I was walking through there, and I walked in there and it said something. I'm sure other people noticed, you know what I mean, that there was an altercation out there. And I turned around and seen it, and it didn't take me very long to get out there.
Okay. What happened after you got outside?
I just asked him, I said, man, what's going on? And
Who are you talking to?
I was talking to the defendant.
What's
and,
the older gentleman doing at this point in time?
he never said a word.
Did you see injuries on him?
He was getting off the ground, it looked like his lip was busted.
Okay. Go
He
ahead.
was getting up off the ground, and I asked the defendant, you know, what's happening, and that's when he said that he got up in his face. And it was kind of a blur then. He shook my hand and apologized, and that was about it. And they
So the defendant never said he assaulted my wife?
No,
And the defendant never said he assaulted me and I was defending myself?
not that I can recall.
What he told you was he got in my face?
Right.
Okay. All right. No further questions.
Ross, Mr. Holt?
Who shook, you're saying the defendant shook your hand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you said you remember him saying that he shouldn't have got up in my face, but you don't remember exactly what the defendant said, do you?
That's all I can recall. He said everybody was upset at the time, and I was just trying to keep it calm.
So if for him, is it fair for me to assume or to conclude that if he shakes your hand and apologizes for a situation, he being the defendant was relatively calm?
Objection, calls for speculation.
I wouldn't answer.
He was, I'm not gonna say he was completely calm. When you get upset and mad, I know, I used to have a temper and can still have one. You're not gonna be completely calm.
How about relative to the situation, did you believe him to be calm?
Calmer,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, to shake my hand, I'm sure that, maybe he realized he was wrong or whatever it was.
I'm gonna
you know
object to
what I
that.
mean? I mean,
You asked the question.
No, I can't. Why do you said that, are you trying to testify about what you think he was thinking, the defendant?
No, I was just trying to answer your question.
Could he also have been saying he was sorry for the situation that you had to get involved? Was that also reasonable to interpret as well?
I'm not sure.
So you're not sure what it was about then, are you?
I don't know what the whole situation was about. I was just trying to get it calmed down. He just said he was sorry. Maybe he thought that I owned the store or something. I don't know.
Okay. When you said that all four were excited, it was an excited conversation, it includes the two females, correct?
Yeah.
Did you hear anything that they said, or do you remember hearing any specific statements from the females?
Everybody was arguing is all I know.
Okay.
I never heard a word from said. I don't recall anything that I really heard, just except for everybody, it seemed like all four of them was arguing.
So you're familiar with the building, you've worked on it, you live right next to it, the Scotttown building. Okay, so we'll say that the judge's bench there, the front of that is the front door.
Okay.
Okay. Do you live on the other side of the building towards you, is that correct? So if you're facing it to the left?
Well, yes.
Okay. And you said that you were walking from your house back to the Scotttown Pizza building?
Right.
Okay. The argument, or you observed an argument already occurring by the time you came into visual or hearing range of this situation, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
About the edge of the building was when I really noticed it.
How many feet do you think is from the edge of the building to the front door?
25 feet.
Okay. Do you remember you're familiar with the parking lot of Scotttown Pizza as well?
Right.
Do you remember passing any vehicles in between?
Yeah.
What did you pass?
There was a couple of vehicles there.
Was there a propane truck there?
Yes.
Okay.
Propane guy was giving, because she was telling me about how she used all that propane, and couldn't believe she used that much, and yeah, he was there.
Okay, and do you know him? Do you know the guy that was in the propane truck?
I know the guy, I know who he is, but I don't know, I never spoke to him in my life.
Okay, did you see him in the propane truck?
Can't say that I seen him in the truck. I know the truck was there and he was filling the propane in the process.
Okay, so you didn't know where he physically was when you
No,
walked, when you
I did
approached?
not.
Okay. Did he say?
I wasn't focused on that at that point, but.
Okay. Do you remember any vehicles between the propane truck and where you witnessed the parties
Yeah,
arguing?
there was the other two witnesses was in the car there. I don't know know if it was before or after the propane truck, but I know they were there in the car.
Okay.
They walked by.
Was there also another smaller blue or green, maybe Ford Ranger, small pickup in between the vehicles, or the front door and the vehicles of the defendant? And the
There might have been, but I didn't really pay attention to what
Okay.
cars were in the parking lot.
Could you explain where you witnessed the older gentleman and the defendant? Were they in relation to the vehicles that you believe to be their vehicles? Can you explain that?
Where they were at,
In relation to the vehicles that you thought were their own vehicles?
theirs was on the other side of the building, other side, past the.
From where you were walking from?
Yeah.
Opposite side, okay. Did you see a vehicle that you have identified as the older gentleman's vehicle?
I believe they were parked right beside his vehicle.
Okay, so are you saying the defendant's vehicle would, explain it?
I really don't, honestly, I'm trying to think right now, if their vehicle was parked right beside his, or if there was a vehicle between them. I can't really remember, tell you the honest truth.
So when you came up and you said the older gentleman was getting up off the ground, was there a car immediately next to him?
Yes, there was a car between their SUV and whatever vehicle that was. It was relatively close together.
So that's a small space, is that right, just a few feet?
Yeah, it wasn't they were pretty close together, but I don't know if that was the defendant's vehicle or if they were parked on the other side of the.
Okay, understood. And you said that, initially you said it was already, you went to break it up, but there was no confrontation to break up once you got there? Is that fair?
No, it wasn't like I grabbed the defendant and pulled him off of him. It was pretty much, I don't know. The fellow I don't even know he was getting up off the ground.
So it's fair to say you don't remember a lot of these details very vividly, just in general? Is that fair to say? It's kind of what I'm getting from you?
What do you mean?
You said you don't remember details about where necessarily were cars, or excuse me, I'll strike
Well, I don't
that.
think
Strike
that
that,
would
withdraw
be
that
mine.
question.
I mean, to tell you the God's honest truth, I don't think that really mattered at the time when you see a conversation. I just thought that, what I was seeing, I'm not gonna sit here and worry about what cars are there. I wanna sit here and worry more about if there's a confrontation, we need to get it situated.
Understood.
Or stopped,
That's what I'm trying to get to the point of. So you did not witness the lead up to what caused the argument or the argument's entirety, is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay. And when you enter the store and you're telling the owner that hey, you said you made a kind of a joking comment about there being a confrontation, was your back away from the door, meaning you were facing her, you weren't looking out the door?
I wasn't looking at the door at the time. No.
Okay.
I walked in and said something to her, and then I turned around and seen what he did.
Okay. So when you walked in the door of Scotttown Pizza, no one had hit anyone, or you hadn't witnessed anyone hit anyone, or it didn't appear like someone had just had?
No, everybody was in their face arguing. It looked like everybody was in each other's face.
Okay, and then it's your testimony, you walk in, you make the comment in a short time after you
Yeah.
witness.
I turned around and that's when it happened.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Ashton.
Yes, Your Honor, briefly. I'm going to mark for identification purposes, state's exhibit, I guess on 1. So I'm going to hand you a document that's been marked, exhibit 1 to your testimony today. Have you ever seen that document before?
Yes.
Is that a statement that you gave the law enforcement on the day of the incident?
Yes.
Can you please review that? There's been some question, at least from opposing counsel, about your recollection today. So can you review that document briefly? Let me know when you're done. From your review of this document, has your recollection been refreshed to the extent that it needed to be about the events of December 24th of 2024? Does that help you remember what happened that day?
Yes, it helps me a little bit.
Okay. And after review of this document, can you confirm for us, did you walked into the store and immediately noticed that there was a fight outside? Is that what this represents?
Yeah.
Once I got in the store,
Yeah,
saw the younger man hit the older man about 3 or 4 times in the face, period.
right,
Is that correct?
right.
And just so the record's clear, I think it is, you, from the time that you walked towards these people into the store and then turned around to see the younger gentleman strike the older gentleman, you saw no other physical altercations between any other individuals in the parking lot. Is that accurate? Is that accurate? That's an accurate statement.
Yeah, I see no other, nothing else.
Okay.
So,
That's all I have.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Boggs, based upon what Mr. Ashworth just asked you, you couldn't have seen any confrontation or any physical altercations between prior to seeing Mr. Boggs hit the older gentleman because you weren't looking that way, were you?
So you said Mr. Boggs.
His name's Mr. Boggs.
You said Mr. Boggs hit the...
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Cade. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I'll correct that. So,
say it again.
you said you didn't witness any other physical contact other than when Mr. Cade punched physically struck
No,
the older gentleman.
I didn't see nothing else. They were all arguing face to face. I didn't see nobody grab anybody or,
So would that also mean that you also testified that you walked in and you were talking to the owner and you were not looking out the door? Is that correct?
right.
So if there was any physical contact that occurred at that time outside where you saw the punch happen, you would not have been able to see it because you weren't looking that way, were you?
True.
Okay. And then also earlier you testified that you saw one punch, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. That's inconsistent with what your statement
Right,
says.
I understand that.
Okay.
Like I said, that was December 24th too.
I understand, I
You know, I got so much that I work and go on, this has been the farthest thing from my mind.
understood.
This is kind of, I mean, not to be rude, but it's kind of something that's a pain in my butt. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but I'm just saying, like, I very well was wrong if I stated this, and my mind was pretty fresh when I wrote this.
Okay.
So, it could have been, must have been a couple strikes.
But today,
I told you today one,
you did, okay.
I did.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, did you see the injuries to the older gentleman after the incident?
I just noticed that he had a busted lip.
Did he also have...
Had a poofy spot on the side of his face.
Do you remember if he had a goose egg on his forehead?
Yeah.
So if he had a goose egg on his forehead and a tooth knocked out,
I'm
usually
gonna
it
object,
happens
Your
in
Honor.
one punch, does it? One punch, knock your tooth out and give you a goose egg? Okay, no further questions.
You testified you saw one punch, correct, earlier under direct
That's what I said.
Okay, and you also said when you were asked by Mr. Ashworth earlier that when he asked about any physical injuries on the older gentleman, you said they looked like he had a busted lip?
Right.
Okay, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
No further questions. We would reserve our right to recall him.
I've got some questions
Oh,
for you, sir.
Sure.
You testified that the propane guy was there around the time of this.
He was around somewhere.
Okay.
Right.
Was he anywhere in the vicinity where this fight occurred at any point when you went outside?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
When I ran out there, I didn't know what I was getting into by breaking up anyway. I didn't know if I was going to have to fight back or what, you know what I mean? So I didn't really, the little girl was crying and I was a little bit upset because, you know, there's a little girl in the middle of it. And I don't really know who was around me besides me and him and maybe the woman that was with him. I think she was standing there too.
Okay. Did you ever see Went and the older gentleman? Was he ever in an aggressive, like squared up posture against Mr. K?
He was up in his face when they were arguing.
there.
They were both in each other's face, you know what I mean? But he wasn't just standing there. It was aggressive on both sides.
Any questions based on my questions?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, sir. Thank you.
Call Mrs. Witt.
You can just wait outside.
And if you come up to the witness stand, I'll swear you in. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Say your name for the record, please.
Kimberly Ray Wimp.
Mrs. Went, is your husband David Went?
Yes.
You were at the Scotttown Diner on December 24th of 2024, is that correct?
Yes.
And as you were there, an altercation occurred?
Yes.
Tell us why you were there and what happened.
We were typically just dropping the boys off like we always do. And my daughter had to work, so we dropped them off.
So what boys are you dropping off, just so
My
we're...
grandsons.
All right, you're
That
dropping
being
them off to
Bradley,
who?
To Dylan and Abby.
Okay, and that's your grandson's father and his
Yes.
wife, correct?
Yes. She
Okay.
wasn't his wife at the time, just girlfriend.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, go ahead.
She got out of the car, and, because we usually just stay in the car, and the kids get in the car. She gets out of the car and starts running her mouth, and we're talking about her, and behind her back, and I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And she shows me a text that my daughter's ex-boyfriend had sent to Dylan, saying something about, I had to watch the kids late, and it was over the time that he said, and I said, well, he must be working over supposedly, so they made a big deal about that. And then she said, you're talking about him not paying child support, and I said, well, it's pretty crappy that he don't have to pay my daughter child support. Because they say they spend more money on them, they put them in sports. And my daughter was going to school at the time for LPN and didn't spend as much time with them as she wanted to because she was a full-time student. But I said, yeah, it's pretty crappy that he got out of paying child support. My daughter signed the papers that he don't have to pay. But now they're in sports and school clothes and everything else. They want half the money and she pays. So I don't know what the big deal was with that. She takes them to the doctor, she makes their doctor appointments, she makes their dental appointments.
So in other words, I don't mean to interrupt you, but in other words, there's some animosity between in the family dynamic, it sounds like.
A little bit.
Yeah, and now, were you in the car when the woman Abby came at the time? I understand she wasn't married yet. Were you inside the car when she approached your car?
Yes.
Okay, and at some point in time, did you get out of your car?
Yes, I did.
All right, and why did you get out of the car?
She was mouthing me and doing this, and so I got out and I'm like, what's your problem? And she starts saying, you're talking about behind her back.
Okay.
She was driving and Dylan was the passenger.
Okay.
And I got out of the car because I thought, what's going on?
Right. Was there ever a physical altercation between you and Abby that day?
No, we just did a lot of the.
So you guys are arguing back and forth?
Yeah.
Right. And then at some point in time, does Mr. Cabe and your husband come over to your side of the car?
Dylan went around the car and went around to where David was, and they were just talking. They never did fight. I mean, my daughter was with him for 10 years, and David and him sat together at ball games. They always got along, and he came over to the car, and David got out, and then me and Abby were still back and forth, talking and pointing and screaming, like women do. And Dylan came around the side of the car, and David's like he's telling Abby, get in the car, and telling me, just get in the car, let's go. Just trying to get everybody give it peace. And the kids were watching, of course. Well, he's pushing me to the car. Dylan grabs him.
And when you say he's pushing me, you're talking about your husband, David?
My husband's like, get in the car, just get in the car.
Okay, as he's doing
He's telling
that.
Abby, pointing his finger, just get in the car.
Okay.
It's enough, get in the car. Then he grabs David by the shoulder and turns him around and just punches him. Because I'm right here. I'm not sitting in the car, I'm right beside of him. And he punches him. And I seen him going down and he punched him again. And I saw David's eyes roll back in his head. I thought he knocked him out. And then I realized, you know, I'm saying, you okay? I was calling I said, you want me to call 911? He said, no, I think I'm okay. He said, I'm not completely knocked out. But after he stood up, I helped him up. I noticed he was bleeding in his teeth. He knocked one of his teeth out and cracked the other one, so they had to pull two of them. But he hit him pretty hard.
Did he have any injuries on his forehead?
Yeah.
Did your husband ever strike Mr. Cabe before that occurred?
No.
So from your testimony, your husband wasn't even looking at him when he grabbed.
No, he grabbed him from the back and just punched him. I don't know if he was mad because me and Abby was into it, screaming at each other.
All right.
Because she puts my daughter down, and I was taking it for her.
Understood.
And I'm just, you know, sick of the drama. They blame us for the drama, but Abby's the one that usually starts it. Never had no trouble with Dylan.
Did you stay around after the incident occurred?
Yes.
And did the Cabes stay around after the incident occurred?
No.
Did you see anyone in a propane truck?
No.
Did anyone in a propane truck stay around, to your knowledge, after the incident occurred?
No.
The witnesses, there were a couple, the Bennetts and Randy Boggs, they all stayed around. You remember them staying at the scene afterwards?
I called 911 because I took a picture of their license plate before they left, and she's like, I can't believe you're calling the cops. I said, look at him, what he did.
You took a picture of the Cabes license plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they was leaving. They got in the car and left.
Yeah. Mhm. How long was it between the altercation and the point in time when the Cabes got in their car and left?
It wasn't even hardly a minute.
A minute?
Yeah, they got straight in the car and left.
All right, no further questions.
Cross.
Thank you. Ma'am, you spoke quite extensively regarding the custody situation with your grandkids and Dylan and your daughter when your testimony opened.
Custody issue.
Yes. Are you aware that your daughter signed custody over to Mr. Cade
That's
approximately the
not
same time this
exactly-
hurt?
That's not exactly what they did. She signed the paper showing he did not have to pay her child support any longer because, excuse me, because they say they spend more money on sports because they go to school at Dawson Bryant, where they live. And my daughter was going to school at the time, and they put them in sports. And every time my daughter got a chance, she had to go to the ball games and run. It's just run all the time. So he took it upon himself to get an attorney, Anderson, which he's good friends with, and wrote up papers for my daughter to sign, not to pay child support to her anymore.
You aware that your daughter signed a judgment entry naming Mr. Cade residential parent of the grandchildren around in December?
No, that's not what was explained to her, and I'm sure they tricked her. That's how he is.
So you witnessed those conversations? Were you at the court hearing?
No. I was
Okay.
sitting outside.
Okay. But you don't agree that Mr. Cade has the residential parent of your grandchildren?
That's not what my daughter signed. If it is, they tricked her into signing it because at the end, because on the papers it states that my daughter does not have to pay him child support. He does not have to pay her child support. My daughter gets those kids every chance she gets. Those kids know exactly when she's off, and they push them on us sometimes, and they know we have them. I basically help him raise those kids.
So, do you agree that?
I've been around for 12 years. I know.
Okay. Do you agree that Dylan or through Abby reached out to you around this same time period, so around Christmas of 2024, so that you and your husband could see the children, the grandchildren?
No, they never had a problem with us seeing the kids.
So you agree?
When my daughter gets my grandchildren, we see them. We watch them. We keep them.
That's
Just
not what
like his mother and father do. When they work, when they go to school, his mom and dad takes them to school because they work at the school.
Okay, ma'am, listen to what I'm asking you.
Well, don't try to trick it up because I know what you're doing.
Okay. You had your grandchildren, the children of Mr. K.
Yes, my grandchildren.
On
My blood too, yes.
Okay, can I finish the question, please? Let me
Go
finish,
ahead.
please. On Christmas Eve in 2024, did you have the grandchildren?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Did you have the grandchildren because Abby had reached out to you to facilitate the grandchildren going with you, being able to see your side of the family for Christmas Eve?
My daughter got part of the night and he got part of the night. That's how it is. It was split.
Okay.
Everything's split.
So
Just
if-
like holidays, Easter, anything is split.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. I've let this go on long enough. This is not relevant.
Your Honor, I don't know how it's not relevant when obviously she's
My daughter had
expressing.
her grandkids part of Christmas Eve.
Ma'am, there's no question on the floor. You don't need to say anything.
Okay.
But Your Honor, I'm going to present evidence showing that the defendant and his wife reached out by text to Kim, Miss Wentz.
This has nothing to do with
Hold on,
Ma'am?
ma'am. Don't.
You need to stay quiet.
Okay.
That shows that Mr. Cade wanted Kim and her husband to see the grandchildren because the mother was not getting them. There was no animosity. That's what I'm trying to get at. But also, the fact that she's expressing great deals of animosity for what happened, I think is relevant as
I'll
well.
allow you to go a little further, but it's kind of far afield from what actually happened, so keep it within reason.
Understood. But you sent text with Abby, Dylan's now current wife, haven't you? You've texted her at different
Yes,
times.
I have.
And you guys were on a decent relationship prior to this event occurring, is that right?
Not really, no.
Did you text Abby asking for prayers for a loved one and getting the children on Thanksgiving of 2024?
Objective relevance.
I can't remember. I mean, my sister just passed 2 months ago, and my mom passed 9 months ago, too.
All right. Okay, I understand. I think the point's been made. Let's move on to what
Okay.
actually happened.
Mark, it's the text from December 24th.
What date are we on?
C,
No, I mean, what was the date of the text?
It's
24th,
24th.
Of November?
December 24th.
Okay, I've got November. You only gave me November 24th.
No, I gave you, there's 7 different texts, I guess, that's the first one.
Okay. All right, if you give them to me, I got them.
Ma'am, I'm going to show you the document for defendants exhibit C here. Could you take a look at that, please, and tell me if you recognize the messages? You recognize that, ma'am?
Yeah, we text, yeah.
What is this text between you and Abby?
Yep, just saying we're ready anytime. She's got both black bags in the car, uniforms.
Are these texts from, is the date on this Tuesday, December 24th at 11:12 a.m.?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay, is this shortly before the incident at issue occurred?
That was about 7 o'clock that evening, maybe 6. It was
So-
in the evening when we dropped them off.
Oh, well, so was it dark then, at that time of year?
No, it wasn't dark.
So you're telling me that the sun's still shining at 7 o'clock on
It
Christmas
was
Eve?
daylight. I'm not for sure exactly what time because it was Christmas Eve. It could have been 5 o'clock. It could have been 4 o'clock.
Okay,
All I know is we dropped them off and it was daylight.
okay. So do these texts are pretty friendly? Is that-
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, she can snap like that, man. She's
who's she?
happy.
Okay. Do these texts indicate how,
If I knew this, I could have printed a lot of texts for you
okay?
from her.
Do these texts indicate that Dylan and Abby facilitated you being able to see your grandkids despite your daughter not being able to get them? on Christmas Eve?
What does that have to do?
I asked you a question.
Yes.
Okay. So, as far as you're aware, there was, as earlier that day, even the, whatever for debate the hours, there was no animosity, was there?
No, there wasn't.
Okay. Are you aware of any intervening events between 11 a.m. that morning and prior to you going to Scotttown Pizza?
Well, yeah, I guess Derek, the ex-boyfriend, had texted Abby and made her mad. That's why she was mad when she got there.
Okay. You
It
weren't
was
aware
a
of
text
that.
from Derek.
You weren't aware of that at that time, were you? You've since become aware of that after the event.
No, I wasn't. She was already mad when she came to get the kids.
So the animosity wasn't you being mad about Dylan becoming the residential parent of your grandchildren. It's about
No.
It wasn't?
I agreed with my daughter. If she don't want him to pay child support, she said, I don't want his damn money. I don't want it.
Okay.
I'll take care of my kids. You don't want to pay. I don't want his money.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to admit Defendant's Exhibit C.
Any objection?
No objection.
Which shows December 26th.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the rest of these texts. They were given to me this morning. I'm going to move to strike them all.
Well, I'm going to object to Ms. Bennett testifying because she was not disclosed to discovery.
Too late for
I
that.
mean, I thought we had professional courtesy. If you want to go that route, we go that route.
She's on the video. I don't know how,
I didn't-
and her name is disclosed just because she doesn't have a statement. I'm sorry.
We'll argue this, I guess, but I thought it would be with courtesy.
So this is going to be D.
And I'm going to show you the document here. Defendant's Exhibit D. Can you tell me if you recognize that, those messages?
So you overruled that, Your Honor? He gets to use this.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to see.
Understood.
Yeah.
So did you text?
Yes, I did, because when my grandsons come to me, they're always saying that we talk about it. We have better things to do than talk about this.
Did you send a hostile message to Abby on December 26th at 10:25 a.m.?
Yeah, you want me to read it to you?
I'm just asking you to send it, I don't know.
Object to the same objection renewed.
I'll read it to you if you want.
It's just not relevant. That's why I'm
I'll take it
objecting.
under advisement.
Because it's basically him putting my daughter down in front of his own kids.
Was this text you sent 2 days after the incident in question here today?
I guess that's what it says.
Okay.
Because the boys came and said what their daddy said about their mom. They tell us stuff.
You've sent other confrontational message to Abby since this, haven't you?
Objection, hearsay.
Her mother texted me and
Ma'am,
basically
ma'am.
threatened me.
When there's objections, let me rule on it before you go ahead and
Okay, I'm
answer.
in court, sir.
I'm responsible, Your Honor. This isn't entered for the truth of the matter. It's showing the witness's motive and bias towards the defendant and his wife.
After he beat him up. I'm sure they have motive. This is after the incident.
Okay, I'll take it under advisement. I'll let you proceed and I'll
Thank you.
go after. I haven't even seen any of them yet.
So did you send other confrontational messages to Abby Kay after the incident on Christmas Eve?
Oh,
24th?
she sent me one, yeah, I sent her one back.
Okay. These are the last two from February 11th.
Her mother sent me one, but I didn't respond.
document on the Witness Exhibit E. Can you take a look at that, please? Did you send a text to Abby Cade on February 11th at 9:22 p.m.?
Yes, I did.
Did you say, why don't you say that shit to my face?
Because she talks about us behind her back and then her his boys come and tell us what they say.
Was her, okay.
I even said kisses and hugs to the newlyweds because they got married 3 days before my birthday, Valentine's Day.
Were you wishing positive?
I was wishing kisses and hugs to the newlyweds.
Did you also call her Miss Priss and tell them to stop acting like your grandkid's mom?
She is Miss Priss.
Okay.
And she puts my daughter down, so she's not her mom.
I'll show you a document marked with Witness Exhibit F.
That's the same one you just gave me.
There's
They're the
actually
same.
additional articles. Do you see that these texts at the bottom of?
Yeah, because she was talking to my niece about me, and she told me what I said, so.
We are on a motion to admit Witness Exhibits
It's all wrong
D
stuff.
through F.
I'll take it under advisement with the objection of the discovery issue
And relevant, Your Honor.
and relevance.
Hearsay.
So you testified that Dylan and your husband, the alleged victim, got along for well over a decade?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're also saying that even though that there was no confrontation between anyone else that day, physical, that Dylan out of nowhere grabs your husband from behind and strikes him?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I don't know if he was drinking because Abby was driving. Could have been alcohol, I don't know. Abby was driving the car.
Did Mr. Cade did you witness Mr. Cade punch your husband while your husband was on the ground?
He punched him as he was going down twice. He turned him around, punched him once, and as he was going down, he punched him again.
Okay.
I saw 2 punches. And he was on the ground. I rolled back in his head, tooth laying on the ground.
No further questions, John.
No questions.
You may step down, ma'am.
State calls, Deputy Atkins.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Your Honor, is there a way that I can hook the body cam video to your screen? I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just need a snippet here.
Yeah, there's a way, but I'm not the person to tell you how to do it.
I'm going to object for this on purpose of it. We have evidence here.
Well, it's pictures of the guy's big goose egg on his head,
Oh,
his
that's
tooth
fine.
missing.
That's fine.
Say your name for the record, sir.
Sergeant Harry Atkins,
What's your occupation?
law enforcement officer and deputy sheriff with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office.
Were you on duty on the Christmas Eve 2024?
I was.
And did you receive a call for an altercation at Scotttown Diner?
Myself and Deputy Nathan Cochran both received a request for service.
What did you discover when you went out there?
When I arrived at the diner, 11/354, State Route 217, I encountered Mr. Wendt and his wife. There, I took statements from both, from Mr. Wendt. On Mr. Wendt's body, I observed some redness on his neck. He pointed that he had lost a tooth during the altercation. There were some other folks present at the time as well. Deputy Cochran spoke to them, collected statements from them, while I spoke to Mr. Wendt.
And I think you already testified to this, but specifically observe injuries to Mr. Wendt's forehead,
So there was, on the left side of his face, it was red, slightly swollen. There were some marks, some red marks on his neck as well.
Okay, and was he missing a tooth?
He indicated that a tooth was knocked out during the event.
Were there, when you completed your investigation there, did you find the defendant, Mr. K, was he present?
He was not present.
Where had he, did you learn where he had went?
I don't know for sure at the time where he had gone to, but I did obtain an address based on his registration to his vehicle. Myself and Cochran, after we left the scene of the diner, drove to his residence, and I knocked on the door, attempted to speak with him, and no one answered. I don't think they were home. The vehicle that they were supposed to be in wasn't present as well.
Okay. So have you ever had the opportunity to speak to him?
No.
And you never found him the day of the incident?
Didn't find him the day of the incident. I know I don't know if it was the same day or the day after, our office received maybe a call from his wife or girlfriend indicating their desire to talk, and I indicated to our dispatcher to let them know to come to the office and be happy to take their statement. That meeting never occurred. There was one other occasion that you asked if I had an opportunity to speak to them. I received a call from Chief Bill Murphy of the Coldwater Police Department about the incident.
Right.
May have been a couple days later. Just indicating Abby had reached out to him for guidance on what to do, and I instructed the chief that if she wanted to make a statement, Mr. K wanted to make a statement, they could come to the office and I mean.
Yeah, what was your understanding of why she would have reached out to that person for?
I think there's some connection from their past, from Murphy, that maybe he coached her in sports or maybe he knows her.
Okay. But she didn't want to just come straight in and give a statement, apparently.
I never met with Mr. Cade or...
I'm going to object, Your Honor. I don't know what, as far as what she wanted.
What, was there a new witness that came forward later on about this incident?
I was notified a week or so later on January the 10th that defense counsel, Mr. Holt, had a witness that he would like me to speak to regarding the event.
So on January the 10th, an attorney, defense counsel, reaches out to you and tells you there's a new witness to this incident.
That's correct.
That was before any charges were filed.
I'm not sure when the charges were actually filed with the prosecutor. They may have been, I'm not sure.
Okay. Where did you take that statement at?
Kroger parking lot in Providence, late in the evening.
And what was the new witness's name?
That was Chris Thompson.
Yeah. And so this happened on the 24th of December, and this new statement's on the 10th of January of 2025, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Did you ask him why it took him that long to come forward?
Well, I had body cam on recording my interaction with him, and I believe I asked that question. And his response to me was that he either spoke to Mr. Holt or Mr. K1 reached out to him about the event, just trying to collect his recollection of what occurred and requested to give a statement.
All right. Okay. Very good. And you did take a statement from him?
I did. I took a written statement and
All right.
my interview was body cam recorded.
What was the conclusions of your investigation from December the 24th of 2025? Excuse me, 24th.
After taking photographs of Mr. Went on scene, taking his statement, I collected the statements obtained by Deputy Cochran from the witnesses, attempted to locate Mr. Cade, completed the criminal report, received affidavits filed by Mr. Went for the alleged assault, submitted my report to our detectives for further review, and then on to the prosecutor's office for consideration for charges.
Okay. No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Axford, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate that. Sergeant or?
Sergeant now, I wasn't a sergeant.
Okay.
I've since been promoted.
I'm trying not to call you detective. Is that unusual to have a witness or potentially the defense counsel contact you in the course of your long law enforcement career to ask you to interview a witness or potential witness approximately 2 weeks after an event, especially over the holidays?
I don't know, in 18 years, I've received instances like like this in the past where witnesses are identified at every point we collect information from them.
Thank you. Are you aware that Mr. Went did not receive any medical services? You didn't call EMS?
That's correct. On the scene, I asked Mr. Lynn, did he want me to call paramedics or medical services? He called them.
And is it true that Mr. Went did not provide you with the tooth that he alleged was knocked out?
No, he did not. He showed me the missing area of the missing tooth. I photographed that, but he didn't provide me the tooth.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
No further questions.
You may sit down. Thank you, sir.
State rest, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, we would call Chris Thompson to the stand.
Chris Thompson.
Chris Thompson.
Sir, if you'll come up to the witness stand to your left, I'll swear you in. If you come up here, before you have a seat, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
You may be seated. Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, would you state your name, please?
Chris Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, you reside here in Lawrence County?
Yes.
Where do you live?
Wilkes on 775.
Okay. And did you have occasion to both provide a statement to Sergeant Atkins and also to witness an incident on Christmas Eve of last year at the Scotttown Pizza?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the court what you saw while you were there, just to explain the story?
Well, I run a propane truck for generations whenever I'm not working for Max and Crane. So when I got to Scotttown Pizza, I had both buildings. They're under the same ticket. Ramsey Wilson owns both buildings. So I pulled up to the pizza shop, filled their tank up, was sitting out my door, and there was 2 cars all the way at the end of the parking lot, one in the middle of the parking lot, one right next to it, and then me. When I was filling her ticket out to get it all finished, I heard some screaming and yelling. Looked up, there was an older lady talking to Abby,
Is that Dylan's wife?
Dylan's wife. I didn't know her at the time. They were talking, and she started screaming and yelling.
Who's she?
The older lady that was in the red Jeep with this older fella. She started screaming and yelling at the short girl. The older fella got out of the driver's side of the Jeep and walked around the passenger side and said a few things. I couldn't understand what he was saying because that woman was still screaming and yelling there, you know. And he walked up and took both of his hands and shoved Abby. And I seen Dylan, I almost got out of the truck to walk over because when he shoved her, I didn't think that was right. Then I seen Dylan walk over to make sure she was okay in between them 2 vehicles. And when he kind of turned and looked at this older fella out here, this older fella open hand slapped him.
Who's him?
This older fella open hand slapped Dylan right across the face, knocked his hat off of him. And that's when I seen Dylan grab him by the shoulder blade and hit him one time, right there across, right above the left eye. Hit him one time, and he went down in between them cars.
Okay. Did you hand to me today earlier almost like I guess a diagram that you prepared while waiting to testify?
Yeah. This is a layout of the building.
It's going to be marked with G. This is for purposes.
Now, Mr. Thompson, did you hand me a document earlier today while you were waiting to testify?
Yes.
And is that the same document marked Defendant's Exhibit G?
Yep.
Okay, can you tell me why you prepared, and when you prepared Defendant's Exhibit G?
Well, where my truck's sitting, where I just got done filling up that propane tank, I was sitting up in that truck and seen the whole thing, from the time it started to the time it ended, to the time they got in their vehicle and left.
Are you saying they being Mr. Cade and Abby?
Yes.
Okay.
My main reason for making this out, I don't know if anybody else there that was a witness knew how everything was laid out here. But these people in this little tan car, whatever statement they gave, they couldn't have seen even anything of what I seen because they had a car in between them and the two SUVs sitting at the end of the parking lot.
Okay, so let's.
And this all happened right in between them two last vehicles. They was right in between them two vehicles right there.
Okay, so let's, just for here today, let's say that the judge's bench right there is the front door when you walk into Scotttown Pizza.
Yeah.
So are you, you're from Wilkes, so you've been familiar with Scotttown Pizza building for some
Yes.
time, I assume, is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we're on this document here that you prepared today. Were you back in?
Yeah, I backed my truck in and rolled the hose out because the propane tank's on the very back of the building.
Does that mean when you said you were sitting sideways on the, behind the driver, behind the wheel, were you looking toward where the event was occurring?
It was right straight out in front of me.
Okay, and you said that you could see one, is that propane, describe the propane truck to us, people that
The
don't.
bottom of the door of that propane truck's about 3.5 to 4 inches off the ground, or 3.5 to 4 feet off the ground. And then I was sitting in the seat, turned sideways, filling this ticket out.
Okay, so are you, I'm doing spitball this, are you like 7 to 9 feet up the ground? Or
At least 6.5 feet up in the air.
Okay. When you arrived on, was this same parking lot layout, the same orientation of when you arrived and when you left? Did anything change? Or something, tell us what you did when you arrived.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there that long. It only takes about 8 or 10 minutes to fill the tank up. And this all happened right about the same time. The only thing that may have changed is after it was all said and done, that little blue pickup truck, whatever they ordered, they got and left.
Okay. So, to just summarize this, where you were back in with the propane truck was, there was 2 empty parking spots and then the light tan
Yes.
car, and you said there's a small blue pickup next to that.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 open spots and then the parties' cars.
Yes.
And were the parties' cars parked directly next to each other?
Yes.
Okay. There's been some question about, or introduced, why there was a delay between you giving a statement and between the event's date and when you actually gave a statement. Can you explain what happened in the interim, why it was not until this January 10th when this event occurred on December 24th?
Well, I didn't stick around because the whole incident was self-explanatory. I mean, if that old gentleman wasn't there, put his hands on that girl, there would have been nothing. We wouldn't be here, okay? I get a phone call. They knew there was a propane truck sitting there. So I'm assuming that Mr. K called Generations to find out who was running the propane truck that day. So Cody Gould gives their phone number, my phone number to him. He calls me on the phone and he asked me if I seen what happened up there at the propane, or at the pizza shop. I said, yeah. And I told him. And he said, would you mind filling out a statement for me? I'll have them call you to set up a time. And I said, yeah. And he said, and he told me then, he said, they're charging me with felony strangulation and battery. And I said, really? Did nobody see what I saw? Because, and he said, apparently not. He said, I just got to get a statement from you. So I called the number that they gave me. And I work in Nitro, West Virginia, whenever I'm not running the propane truck. So I had to set up time. Well, on my way home from work, I called And they called me back and said, we'll meet you at Proctorville, somewhere in Proctorville.
Is that this the sheriff's office?
Yes.
Okay.
Before I get to Proctorville, they called and said, we had another call. So we'll get back in touch with you. So that one, it was just a couple days later before they ever called me back. And I called them on the way home and met at Kroger's parking lot. And that's when I gave them my statement.
Okay. Now, at the time of you witnessed the incident on December 24th, did you realize who the identity of any of the parties who they were?
No idea.
Okay.
I had no idea because it had been a couple years. I didn't even work with him. I worked around him, but I didn't recognize him. And this fellow sitting out here, I probably know him better than I do him.
Who's that?
Mr. Wynn.
How do you know Mr. Wynn?
Several years ago, I used to work with him at Proctorville Kroger. And me and my two daughters sold him and his dad some firewood. So, and it wasn't until we come in here to court that day, because he's changed a lot, I've changed a lot. I didn't recognize him.
Now, what's your familiarity with Mr. K prior to this event?
2 years ago, I worked around him. A buddy of mine worked with him up at Tiger Creek plant.
Okay, did you ever work directly with Mr. K?
No. He worked in the plant, working on machines and stuff, and I drove dump truck.
So is it fair, do you know Mr. Wentz better than you know Mr. K?
I know Dave. I worked with Dave for several years.
Okay. Now, when we'll go back on the details here. There's also another individual, I believe you witnessed that day, it's Randy Boggs. Did you see him that day? Can you tell the court how you witnessed, how you interacted with Mr. Boggs?
So, he comes driving in his pickup.
Who's he? We don't know who he is, if you say Mr. Boggs.
Mr. Boggs, he come in his red Dodge pickup truck. I noticed he come around the curve, probably right about the time that Mr. Wynn got hit in the face. He comes in, parks in his driveway. He gets out of his truck, he comes across the front of that propane truck walking pretty fast. And I know of him, probably never talked to him before, that as he went by my door, headed over to where the argument was, I kind of hollered at him and said, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And he turned around and looked at me, never said nothing, and walked over and got within about 5 feet of Dylan. And he said,
Who's he?
pretty bad. Boggs said, it's pretty bad when you're whooping up on somebody half your size. And Dylan said, if you want a little bit of what he just got, come on over here. And he said, Boggs said, I don't want to do that. I'm going inside.
Okay.
That's from the time he come around the curve, probably seen the punch. He didn't see nothing else.
So
the truck wasn't even in sight when all this started.
So are you saying that, you witnessed Mr. K punch Mr. Wentz, correct?
Yeah.
But you also witnessed Mr. Wentz make physical contact with Abby Nance, now Abby K, the small girl?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you also witness then Mr. Wentz make physical contact with Mr. K?
Absolutely.
If you were in that same position Mr. K was, what would you have done?
I'd be sitting where he's sitting because I'd hit him too.
Okay. So when you say you were up in the propane truck, and we're lawyers, we're not real good with propane trucks here, but are you at an angle of elevation where you have an unobstructed view of pretty much everything, or at any time was your view
I
obstructed?
seen the whole thing. I mean, I seen it. I had the best seat in the house to watch it because I was up in there.
Okay. Did you witness Mr. Bent, the gentleman in the light tan, or you said light tan or bronze car?
Yes.
Did you see him break up any fights or any confrontation, or how would you explain his law?
Mr. Bennett and the lady that's with him right now didn't get out of the car until after the punch was thrown. Okay? She never let go of the door panel when they got out. And when he come around the back of the car, which is 10 feet away from me, he didn't come 3 foot off of that deck lid of that car. He didn't walk over there.
What's a deck lid for it?
The trunk lid.
Okay.
He didn't come 3 foot off of that car.
Okay.
And then both of them got in the car.
Did Mr. Boggs actually go over and try to help or any?
He probably got within 4 feet of Dylan.
Okay.
He didn't tell anybody to break it up or anything.
So is it fair to say from what you witnessed, did the confrontation start with the females?
Yes.
Or what? Okay. And what was Dylan doing? I think you testified that Dylan was on the driver's side, so he was on the opposite side of the vehicle, is that right?
Dylan was kind of like, he was kind of at the corner of the car having a conversation with Mr. Williams.
Okay.
They was talking.
Did that conversation look like friendly?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
the conversation between the two females look friendly?
It was at first, but then it turned bad.
Okay. Prior to you witnessing Mr. Wentz make physical contact with, I'm gonna call her Abby, but Abby or Mr. Cade, did you see Mr. Cade make physical contact with anyone, including Mr. Wentz?
No. I mean, he leaned over to make sure Abby was all right. That was the first thing he done.
So did you see Abby go to the ground after she was pushed?
She didn't go to the ground, but she was doubled over because he shoved her so hard.
And who's he?
Dave went.
Okay. Did you ever see Mr. Cade grab Dave Went from behind?
No.
And so were the actual, when the physical contact occurred, could you see how wide of a space it was between the vehicles of the Wentz vehicle and the Cade's vehicle? Was it?
You have 2 people to pass because he went around, David went around his wife to get by her, to get to Abby. There was probably just enough room in between them 2 cars for him to pass her.
And have you, since this, you've been aware that you were going to be named a witness in this matter, have you secured the ticket you filled out on December 24th of 2024?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you did you create that document? Did you fill in that document, excuse me?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you fill in that document in the normal course of your employment at Generations Propane?
Afterwards?
Like, that's part of your job, is filling these tickets
Oh,
out?
yeah. Yeah, I have to stick this in the machine to get it to pump. If you don't put a ticket in that propane tank machine, right in between seats, you can't turn it on the back. It won't.
Okay.
And everything's on here. The date, time, everything's right on this ticket. And it's digitally put on there. I don't put that on there.
When did you actually reacquire possession of that from Generations? Or Generations give it to you?
Well, yeah, Cody said that they was gonna need that.
Did Cody give it to you?
Yeah, Cody gave it to me
Okay.
probably two weeks ago. And the thing about the tickets is, anybody can do a ticket, but if you look at every single ticket that I've ever run for the past 6 or 7 years, and you can ask Cody, you can ask Eric, you can ask anybody, I do it for a reason, to cover my hind end. Right there at the bottom of that ticket, on every ticket I've ever run through that machine, I sign it just in case they have a problem with an account or with that field. He knows who put the propane in there, because they got 2 or 3 people that runs propane trucks.
Let me ask you, because I'm sure you're busy when you're filled up propane tanks. What caused you to actually turn your attention from filling that ticket out to what these people were doing across the parking lot?
When David's wife started screaming at the top of her lungs,
Okay.
that's when I looked up, because I was already sitting there in that direction.
Who you're calling Dave's wife, is that lady, the woman here that just testified, or you saw come out of the
Yes.
courtroom? Okay. Now, when you said you worked at Tiger Creek, do the crane operators have their own union?
I wasn't a crane operator at the time. I
Okay.
was driving dump trucks.
But you don't work for early construction like Cade has?
No, I worked for the Beaver excavator that was cleaning the ponds out. I was on the opposite side of the plant.
I have no further questions, Ron.
Is this marked, what's this number?
I believe it was G.
G, do you have exhibit G in front of you, sir?
Yeah.
All right.
The diagram, yes, it's G.
By the way, can I see this? Yes, sir, too.
Yes, sir.
You brought this just now today?
Yes.
Okay. We'll take a look at that. All right, where's the propane tank in Exhibit G? It's behind the building, is that correct?
Yeah.
And your propane truck, you parked all the way to the left. Is that what your testimony is?
Yeah.
And do you have certain regulations that govern the way you have to fill a stationary propane tank? Yes, you do.
I'm object relevancy.
Oh, wow.
Do you have regulations that dictate and determine how you fill a propane tank? Or can you just go in there and do it however you want?
I just roll the hose out and hook it up and fill it up.
And you're supposed to have constant supervision of that propane tank in case anything happens, so you can shut that off immediately, correct? Isn't that correct, sir?
That's not how Generations run things. I don't have anybody go with me.
You don't have the obligation to make sure that propane's not leaking out into the air. You can just turn it on and wander around the building. You don't have to have continuous observation of that propane tank pursuant to National Fire Protection Association 58 rule.
I got a remote control on my side that runs that you can turn that off and turn it on and rev the motor up to make it pump faster. And I stand right there at that tank and fill that tank up. And when it's done, I unhook it and roll my hose up.
Yeah, the tank that's behind the store, correct?
Yeah.
So you filled the propane tank up behind the store. When you got done, you got in your truck and left. Is that accurate?
When I finished, I went next door to fill up the water office building tank.
How long did that take?
Takes 6-8 minutes. They're 500-gallon tanks.
But you didn't see the police officers at the scene as you were filling up the other tank?
Funny you should mention that, because I told myself, I don't like sticking my nose in somebody else's business when it don't belong there. But when I went across the yard to fill up the other tank, I drove across there and filled that tank up, and I said, if the law's sitting there, by the time I get done, I'll walk over. And they weren't.
Okay, so if I play that video and there's police officers on that scene and you can see 360 degrees, you're gonna see your truck somewhere.
You ain't gonna see that truck because there wasn't no cops there when they were out there.
How long did you stay there? 6 to 8 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So it takes probably 2 minutes to go over to the other area, 6 to 8 minutes to pump it. You'd have been there 10 or 15 minutes.
10, 12 minutes tops.
And you didn't see any police officers there?
I never seen the first car.
But you did see an older gentleman that was 5'10", $160, push a woman down to the ground and then open hand slap a big guy that's 6-something, 240 pounds in the face.
100%.
And you didn't do anything to go help the woman. You just sat there.
To help what woman?
The one that just got thrown down to the ground.
Buddy, I didn't need to. I didn't need to. When I seen him.
Wait.
No, let me answer. Let me make.
Go ahead.
Whenever I seen Mr. Went push her, I was about to get out of the truck and walk over there.
So you weren't by the propane tank now? You're in your truck now?
I was finished making a ticket out.
So you're making a ticket out or are you observing?
I started out making the ticket out until all the commotion started. And then I watched the whole thing from beginning to end.
And so he pushed, Mr. Went, the older gentleman, pushed a woman down.
Yeah.
And you didn't get out to help.
I was going to.
You were going to because Mr. Went then pip slaps the guy and you still don't go help, right? You still stay in the truck. You still stay in the truck.
When I seen Mr. Went open hand slap him, I didn't figure I was going to need to do anything. Because I believe he took care of himself.
Well, what was the statement that Mr. Boggs made to you when he walked by? Isn't that awful that you have to pick on someone so small?
He didn't make that to me, he made that to him.
All right, and what did he say in return to that?
He said, if you want a little bit of what he just got, come on over here.
So he's threatening Mr. Boggs.
He didn't threaten him.
He just made a promise, right?
He didn't threaten him.
Now, how did you come to learn about this again? I don't understand.
You're going to have to ask that a little more clear because I don't
Oh, okay, I will then. Sir, you're here testifying under oath. You believe in God?
How do I know about what?
How do you know about this incident here that we're here for you to come and testify in court? That happened on December the 24th of 2024, correct?
Yes.
You've got this little ticket you brought in for, right?
Look at the digital.
Yeah, and this is a customer's copy, I can see. So tell us.
No, it's not.
How did you know, sir, listen to me. How did you know that you needed to come give testimony for Mr. K?
First off, that's not the customer copy. The customer's got the yellow copy that they get.
This
That's
is
the
your
original.
invoice.
That's the original one from day one.
And this is all you brought. You didn't bring the invoice before that or after that, I take it this is the only one you brought today. You didn't bring any other, did you make any other deliveries that day?
Absolutely.
Where are the other tickets?
18 tickets.
Where's number 016150 and 52? Where are the other tickets?
I never witnessed no fight at them. I didn't think we was gonna need them.
Okay, so you didn't bring them. You didn't bring them. Did you bring them or not? Yes or no?
I did not bring them.
All right, now tell us how you understood from December the 24th until January the 10th that you needed to come give a statement to police officers.
Because he called me on the phone and asked me.
He's got your phone number.
He got it from Generations Propane.
He didn't get it, he got it from how do you know that? Earlier, your testimony was you assume someone called Generations Propane. That was what you testified to earlier.
Because when he called me, I asked Cody if he gave him my number. Cody said, yeah. He figured he was gonna need it.
So then you call and show up and give a statement. Show up at Kroger and give a statement on January the 10th.
Yeah.
All right? And it just happens to be that you have an entirely different story than 5 other eyewitnesses, and you have an explanation for the other eyewitnesses why they can't see the incident. Don't you think that's a little strange?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay. Who is... You have a couple daughters, right?
Yes, sir.
One of them named Casey Thompson, excuse me? Yeah. And who does she date? Connor Cade. That's his nephew, right? And then you have another daughter named Kylie Thompson. Who's she married to?
Ethan.
What's his last name? Cade, right? You've been here
testifying, Your Honor.
You've been here for 30 minutes and you haven't told anybody in this courtroom about your close family relationship to the defendant's family. Why haven't you told anybody about that?
I'm not related to him.
Okay, so you don't think we would want to know that your daughters are married to his family members? More than one? Are you kidding me? You didn't think that was important to let someone know. We're here to try to figure out what happened that day. And you ought to come in here and not even tell us that your daughters are married to his family members when that may very well show us that you have some bias here. Did you come up with this plan during the holidays?
Objection, Your Honor. This is increasingly combative. No one's asked him if any one of his daughters are married to anyone related to
He just testified they were.
Well, I think one, so you might want to clear that up. I thought one was dating a nephew, maybe one was married to a kid.
Casey Thompson is one of your daughters, correct?
Yes.
She's dating Connor Cade, correct?
Yes.
They've been dating for 5 years, correct?
It's not been that long.
Okay, 4.5?
I'm not 100% sure, but
You want to go through the Facebook pages?
you go through them, buddy.
I will. Who is she is related to him? Who is Connor Cade related to Dylan Cade?
Connor's dad and Dylan are brothers.
So that's his nephew.
Yeah.
Your daughter dates his nephew.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell us that. Did you tell us that, or did I miss it? Did I miss that part?
For one.
Okay, I think that was a no, sir. I'm not asking you to explain anything. I had a question. Did I miss it? And I'm going to take your silence as I didn't miss it. You just didn't tell us. So who is Kylie Thompson? Another one of your daughters, right?
Middle daughter.
And she's married to Ethan Cade.
Distant.
Is she married to Ethan Cade?
She's married as of May 31st. Married.
To Ethan Cade. Yes?
Yeah.
You have to say yes for the record.
Yes.
And is he a relative of the defendant?
Distant. I don't know how, but I'm sure it's distant because that's two different families.
So you saw your daughters longtime boyfriend's uncle get in a fight at Scotttown Diner and didn't realize it was him?
I'm being 100% truthful with you.
I don't believe you, but go ahead.
2 years ago, when I worked with him up there, I didn't realize that's who that was standing over there. Just like I didn't realize that's who that was sitting out there that he hit. Because everybody changes. And I had to talk to him the first day. From when I left Tiger Creek 2 years ago till December 24th.
And
That's 100% truth, and I don't care whether you believe me or not.
well, okay. So let me go back to the incident, just to make sure I understand. So your recollection of the incident was that the defendant, this gentleman here, after watching his wife get shoved to the ground, did not react, but instead got slapped and then reacted. That's what your testimony.
That's not what the witness testified, Your Honor.
Well, you're shaking your head yes, so am I right or wrong?
I thought it was.
Well, I believe he testified that the interim, he helped his wife get up, or helped his wife, and then it happened.
Yeah, he walked over to make sure she's okay.
Didn't do anything to the guy that was assaulting her.
He never touched him.
Right. Until he got slapped.
And open hand slap.
Okay, no further questions.
Mr. Thompson, has anyone paid you to be here today?
Absolutely not. I missed 2 damn days of work.
So you-
Drug through here. I'm sorry. I missed 2 days of work. Because there's a lot of stuff going on that they're trying to do to him that he ain't got no business getting done.
And do you explain your relationship to the Cade family?
I have no relationship to the Cade family.
Okay.
I mean, my middle daughter married one of the Cades, and I got another daughter that's dating one of them.
Well, you're from Wilderness, is that right?
I'm from Willis.
The Cades are mainly from 243 and Andis?
141.
And 141.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from here, so tell me if you don't agree. There's a lot of Cades. am I right?
There's a lot of Cades. Cades is a huge family.
Okay, including even the former engineer, longtime engineer of Lawrence County. Is that right? Do you agree?
Doug?
Doug? Do you have any connection to Doug Cade or anybody else?
Absolutely none.
Is there anything up here today that would make you swear under oath and tell a lie to help out a Cade or anyone else?
Absolutely not.
Has your daughter, is it your daughter dating a nephew of Dylan? Has that caused you and Dylan to interact at all?
No, he just messaged me and asked me if I was going to be able to make it.
To this?
here.
Okay. So are you saying that you haven't, your daughter dating a nephew of Mr. Cade's not caused any interaction between you and Mr. Cade?
I've talked to him a couple times, but as far as he messaged me Friday, asked me if I was going to be able to make it.
Talk related to this court?
Yeah.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, further questions?
You may sit down, sir.
We would reserve, if you'd wait for us, Mr. Thompson, please. We'd call Abby Cade to the stand.
And you can.
Abby Cade.
And come up to the front of the courtroom to your left, and I'll swear you in. Yes, come up here on the, step up, yes, there you go. Before you have a seat, raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, would you state your name, please?
Abby Cade.
And Abby, you've been in a relationship with Dylan for some time. Can you explain how long you guys have been together? And now I believe you're married now.
We've been together 6 years and we'll be married a year in January.
Okay. And have you been living in a home with Dylan's children from a prior relationship for multiple years now?
6 years.
Okay. So have you had occasion to become familiar with the children, their family on their mother's side?
Yes.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship with Dylan's ex-in-laws prior to Christmas Eve of 2024?
It pretty well. We had our mishaps every once in a while communicating with her mom through them, but for the most part, we got along and exchanged kids with her more than their mom.
Okay. So you're saying that Kim and Dave probably did more exchanges than their actual mom?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now, did you make an effort, you and Dylan make an effort at Christmas Eve 2024 for your stepkids to see their maternal side of their family? Can you explain that to them?
Yes. The year prior, the mom had denied Christmas with them because they all had the flu and she didn't want to get sick, so she left them there for that week. So in 2024, we had then decided we was going to make an effort at some point for them to see them for Christmas, even if it was Christmas Eve. Their mom had recently obtained a job and was going to be working, so we had decided between the two of us that we'd at least let them go and see the grandparents for Christmas Eve, and then we would just do our Christmas on Christmas Day, so we let them have them on Christmas Eve.
So, and were you aware at the same time that this occurred around the holidays in 2024 that Dylan had went to court to be named or designated residential parent of the kids?
Yeah, it had just finalized prior to this exchange.
How long, the days, weeks, how long were we talking about?
I can't remember the exact court date. It was a month or two, I'm pretty sure it was prior to that.
Okay. So can you explain what happened at Scotttown Pizza on Christmas Eve of 2024 with you and your husband?
We arrived there first, and it was just hard.
Who's we? We pronouns, we're not going to know who he and she or we.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dylan and I was picking up the boys, which we had our daughter. We have a daughter who's been two of us in the car too. Was sitting waiting on them, and the grandparents brought them because we had let them see them on Christmas Eve. I spoke with her that morning, what time we should exchange and everything to get them back. They pull in. Prior to this, because of the court hearings we had for the kids, we had tried not to let them know anything was going on, because honestly, like, the way that it was going to go on paper was pretty much how their life had been in the last, 4 years. It was just getting it finalized, switching their schools, all on paper. So once they got there and the boys got out, we always get out and help them. We got their ball bags out, put in the car. I waited till they got in the car, and Kim was getting ready to get in her car, and I said, Kim, I want to talk to you about something. And she sat down in her car with her car door open, and I was standing there, and I said, the kids are coming home and trying to discuss things about court that we wasn't letting them know about, asking us if they're going to see their mom. We'd appreciate if you just don't discuss those things with them, because some of the things they was coming home and saying wasn't accurate, and we didn't want them thinking bad of their mom at that point. At that point, she immediately denied, Kim denied ever saying anything to the kids and just got real defensive. She got out of her car, slammed her car door, and got right in my face screaming and yelling at me. And at that point, it wasn't even about the kids. It was about the kids, but not about that. It was just saying that I wasn't their mother, that we brainwashed them to play sports. It was just crazy nonsense, screaming and cussing me. By the time she was in my face, I really couldn't see what was going on around me, but Dave, which is the step-grandpa, had come, and Kim backed up, and he got in my face and shoved me and told me to get back in my car. And at that point, Dylan had came around the vehicle, and this was all going in between two vehicles. Dylan had came around.
Did you know where Dylan was prior to him?
When I was talking to Kim, Dave was in the driver's seat, so Dylan was on that side, kind of talking to Dave. We was kind of communicating with both of them, kind of through the car. So at that point, when she was in my face, I'm just assuming he came from around the car at that point, because Dave did, and he came at me. When he shoved me, Dylan came at him to grab him. When he grabbed him, he smacked Dylan across the head and knocked his hat off, and Dylan put him up against the car. And at that point, he smacked Dylan again, and Dylan hit him across the head, and he fell to the ground.
Okay. So you had, how old your child with Dylan, how old's your son? 4. So and you knew you were picking up Dylan's 2 older kids, right? Mm-hmm. Did you go to Scotttown Pizza to have a confrontation with kids in the car?
No,
Okay, what was your intention in introducing the topic with Kim?
To keep the kids from knowing really what was going on. We tried our best not to let them know what's going on behind the scenes and keep their life as normal as possible.
Did you yell at Kim when you introduced the subject or
No.
threaten her at all?
No.
Okay. How close were you, you're saying your kids were in the car right a couple feet behind you?
Literally right beside me. I made sure they was in the car. Their bags I put them in the back because they was playing basketball, tying their ball bags. Shut the doors were shut on the car, but when the confrontation started, as soon as David shoved me, the boys got out of the car crying, screaming. And then when that happened, I just heard them put them back in the car, and I got in the car, and it was, as fast as it happened, it was over, and I took the kids away, they was all screaming and crying. It's the first time they've ever seen any conflict between any of us, because they never knew anything.
So did everyone pretty much, was it fair to say, fairly got along with the co-parenting situation prior to Christmas Eve last year?
Yeah, and honestly, communicating with her mom wasn't always bad either, it's just, she was not there. You know?
Okay. So there's been some questions raised about how Chris Thompson came involved in this. Can you tell the court about how just this, really, how he came in contact with me or Mr. Thompson, how that occurred?
Yeah, so, I can't remember what day Christmas was on that year, but that following Friday, we was getting our propane tank filled up. I was home with Layla. I was off on Fridays, and
Who's Layla?
Layla's my daughter.
Okay.
I'm off on Fridays, and she don't have preschool on Fridays. So we was home and knocked on the door to get a ticket, and he recognized me, and he said, "Was you at Scotttown Pizza on Christmas Eve?" And first I didn't want to answer. And I said, "Yeah," and he said, "I saw what happened." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry you had to witness that." And honestly, it was more embarrassing than anything. And I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry you had to see that." And he said, "Well, if you ever need anything, you can let me know." And I said, "Well, I appreciate that." And he left. I still didn't know his name or anything at that. I probably should have asked. I didn't. He left, and I told Dylan about it because all this started coming about. And he called Generations to figure out who he was.
Who's he?
Cody Gould.
No, who called Generations?
Dylan.
Okay. So at that point then, I don't know who, was that because you learned that, or you and Dylan had learned that there was potentially going to be charges filed?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear that from me?
Yes, I contacted you about what was going on, and we had also called down here to see if there was charges that were filed.
And were you trying to gather witnesses for an upcoming court case? Is that what you were doing?
Yes.
Okay. What do you know, is there any type of, let me ask you this, are you and Dylan, your family, are you guys close with Mr. Thompson?
No, Chris,
Have you ever met Mr. Thompson prior to this event occurring in this court case?
no.
Okay. Are you aware of any close ties between Dylan's family and Mr. Thompson?
He has mentioned that he used to work with,
Who's he? You guys, Dylan or?
Dave.
Dave.
Dave, the grandpa, many years ago, like 20, 30 years ago at Kroger.
Okay.
He had known him for years.
All right, so whenever you got pushed, did you go fully to the ground or did you stumble back in your car? What happened?
I stumbled back in my car. I didn't fall down.
Okay. You didn't sustain any injuries, did you?
No.
Did you make any contact physically with anyone?
No.
Okay. How far away were you whenever you saw Dave make physical contact with Dylan and then Dylan subsequently make physical contact with Dave?
I was right behind him.
How feet? How many? What are we talking about?
2 feet, maybe.
Okay.
I was right behind him.
Did when Dave went to the ground, did Dylan jump on him and continue hitting him?
No.
Okay. What did Dylan do?
Nothing. When Dylan hit him and he fell to the ground, he walked back over to me and he was helping me put the kids back in the car.
Okay. You're all right with further questions?
Cross.
So you don't know Chris Thompson's daughters?
Daughters?
Yeah. You don't know,
I know his daughters go to Sims Valley. I know of who they are now.
So you don't know Casey Thompson?
That's his daughter.
Yeah. So you do know her?
I said she goes to Sims Valley and I love them.
Okay, what do you know of them?
Just that they go to Sims Valley. I coach softball and they're all involved in softball.
Okay. Does Casey date Connor Cade?
Currently, I don't know.
Did you take homecoming pictures for Casey Thompson?
No.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, Facebook page.
Do you know who Kylie Thompson is?
No.
You don't know that's Chris Thompson's other daughter?
No. I know of Casey.
And what's your Facebook name? What do you go by on Facebook?
Abby Cade.
And you are, let me make sure I understand this, you're the softball coach
I
at
help coach a softball team at Colgrove.
Colgrove?
Yes.
And who goes to Colgrove?
All of my kids.
But does Casey Thompson go to Colgrove?
No.
Well, then how did you know she dates Connor Cade?
They all, Sims Valley, Colgrove, Rock Hill, we all play each other.
So you just know random children from other teams and who they date?
I don't know about their relationship.
Okay, well then how did you know that they were dating? You're the one who confirmed this to me. I'm not testifying, you are.
I understand that.
So how do you know Connor Cade is dating Casey Thompson?
I don't know that they're currently dating, but before they would be around at the ball fields.
So you knew who they were?
Through ball, yes.
You knew who Connor Cade was through softball, not through the fact that your now husband has a nephew that dates Casey Thompson.
Connor is his nephew, yes, but I didn't know their relationship.
You didn't take any pictures of him? You didn't help him with the makeup for prom or anything like that?
No.
No? Okay. Let me make sure I understand this. You were pushed down to the ground at Scotttown Diner by David Wendt.
I never went to the ground.
Okay, you were pushed by David Wendt. You then left the scene without talking to police officers, and you never, after that, went and had any type of statement given about the assault that was had against you.
I did. I did go to the police station and make that statement.
Where did you go? Where's the statement?
I don't know where the statement is, but I went down to the jail down there, the sheriff's department, and wrote out my statement.
What sheriff's department did you go to?
Lawrence County in Ironton.
My understanding is that you went and saw William Murphy, Chief William Murphy, at the Colgrove Police Department. You never saw that person?
No.
Do you know who he is?
He's one of a cop in Colgrove.
Do you have any other relationship with him? Do you know him from softball or anything like
He
that?
helps with our softball league, yeah.
Okay. And did you have a conversation with him about this incident?
No, I did not.
But you went to the sheriff's department and filled out a statement. Did you ask to press charges?
Yes, I did.
Okay, but no charges have been filed and no statement has been produced. Do you have a copy of the statement?
I have it on my phone, a picture of it.
Just see it.
Okay. Here's where I wrote it all out, it's in there. I have it.
When did you fill that out, ma'am?
I don't know, you have to look at the date on it.
I didn't take the statement, but it's on our letterhead from our office.
So this would have been filled out on May the 19th of 2025?
Whatever that date.
You filled it out in May of 2025?
Whatever that date says.
So more than 5.5 months after this incident occurred?
Okay.
Okay? After charges have already been filed against your husband? I don't have any further questions. We know what's going on here.
Abby, will you explain why there was a delay and your efforts prior to May 19th of trying to get a statement taken and even contacting me to try to expedite that happening?
I did, and I even asked if a sheriff could come and talk to me at my house, because they told me that would happen. Never did. I went down to the sheriff's department 2 other times, and they said that the sheriff at the time wasn't there to come back. I did that for a second time, he still wasn't there, and then I asked, I said, can I at least write out a statement and it be given to him? And he said yes, and that's when I eventually wrote it out.
Did you even contact me to potentially write a letter to request that,
To press charges.
that a state would be taken into press charges?
Yes.
Do you remember when you did that?
I have to look back at our messages when I come.
And is it true that no one's contacted you since May 19th, since you surrendered that statement? No representatives of the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department or prosecutor's officer has contacted you? Is that? Okay.
But I took a picture of it because I was afraid that it would never get anywhere since I couldn't even get anyone to talk to me.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Just have 1 minute, Your Honor. When did you speak with the Culver Chief of Police, Mr. Murphy? When in time was that?
I didn't speak to him.
You never spoke to him about this incident?
No, I did not.
Okay. So I guess he never told you to go make a statement anywhere?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor. I'm just going to look to see if I can locate the actual letter. Please bear with me. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down now.
Yeah, if you'll wait outside, please. Or we can
Stay in the lobby.
call Dylan Cade, Your Honor.
Okay, come up, I'll show you. Before I swear you in, I assume you discussed this with your attorney, you have a right not to testify, you understand that? Yes. Waiving that right. You swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, would you state your name, please?
Dylan Cade?
And Dylan, you understand you've been charged with misdemeanor in the first degree? That's why we're here today?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that by you taking the stand, I don't think it's probably a loss to talk about, but I'll refresh your memory, that you are waiving your right against not facing cross-examination, right to remain silent. Mr. Ashworth will be able to cross-examine you. You understand that? You still want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell, we've heard a lot about December 24th. Can you explain the context of what was going on in your life and the life of kids and your ex's family leading up to December 24th? Regarding court?
Previous weeks?
Yes. Yeah, what was the normal operation?
When me and my ex-wife got divorced, she had the kids through the week, and I had them on the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was split 50-50. She started going to school, got a part-time job, so we had the kids more often, which was Monday through Friday. They went to school at Fairland, we put them in Colorado, so we could get them in and out of school. Put them in football, baseball, basketball, had all the sports covered. Had the kids 75% of the time, and paid for everything, still paying the child support. So I talked to her about it, and we agreed that I could go talk to Mr. Anderson and get the child support revoked. And we agreed to, she take care of the kids when she has them, same with me. We split all the school supplies, school clothes, all the ball stuff, and she was perfectly fine with it.
And so did pretty much what you went to court for, where she agreed to, she being your ex, you were designated residential parent, there's no more child support, and you pretty much put in effect what happened.
Right.
Okay.
And
she was going to have to pay me the child support, and I said, I don't want any child support from her, just take care of them when you have them, and vice versa.
Okay, so leading up to December 24th of 2024, were you aware of any animosity between yourself and Dave and Kim?
No, we communicated with the grandparents more so often than her.
Who's her?
With my ex-wife Carla. We would communicate with Kim and Dave about exchanging the kids, because they had them sometimes when she was working. And honestly, it was sometimes easier to deal with and get along with than my ex.
Did you take steps to make sure that your kids went with Kim and Dave, since your ex-wife couldn't get them on Christmas Eve or Christmas?
Yeah, she had to work Christmas Eve. I agreed to let them stay with Kim and Dave the night before and have half of Christmas Eve day. And we would pick them up around noon or 1 that afternoon, because we had to go to Abby's parents for Christmas Eve at 1 o'clock.
Okay. What time did you get to Scotttown Pizza?
I think we was going to meet at noon.
Okay. What time did you actually get there?
I'm usually there 10 or 15 minutes early.
Okay. Tell us what happened at Scotttown Pizza on the 24th.
Me and Abby pulled in, they was there, we got out, we usually help get backpacks, ball bags, whatever the kids have, they got a carload of stuff. Put that stuff in the car, got the kids situated, buckled in, and that's when Abby asked him about the previous.
Where were you at when this happened?
I was standing outside the back of the car, putting the ball bags and stuff in the trunk.
Okay.
And
Did you hear their conversation between Abby and Kim?
I heard Abby go over and say she wanted to talk to her about some previous sports stuff. That was translating through the kids that she didn't agree with.
Okay.
And I'd said something to Dave, I don't remember what it was. He said, I can't hear you, can you come over here? So I went to the driver's side vehicle. Me and him was communicating like normal, no conflict, no arguing, no nothing. And in the meantime, I heard Kim get really loud, and she slammed her car door. It escalated quickly. So I went around the front of the car, and Dave came around the back. And when he did, he got hold of Abby and pushed her back. And I made sure she was okay. And when I turned back around, he smacked me across the face.
Let me ask you, so what was it? There's different kind of pushes.
Right.
Was it a push to get Kim and Abby away? What was the?
No, they wasn't, they was arguing, but they wasn't like, there was no, like hands on or anything. They was just kind of in each other's face, and he come over there, took his hands and pushed her back. More or less was separating them, but it was kind of excessive.
Did your wife go back into your car or vehicle?
I'm on assuming, she didn't hit the ground or anything, but she went back.
So what are you thinking at that point whenever you witnessed that?
I didn't like it.
What you explain?
I understand he's an older gentleman, but he shouldn't put his hands on her. She was my fiancée, we were getting ready till January, but I didn't like it bit. And then when I came back around, that's when he smacked me in the face, knocked my hat out in the parking lot.
That surprised you?
It did, because we've never had a crossword. Never had one argument, nothing. We've always got along well.
So explain in detail, when you lived it, so tell the court what happened. So you go back, you tell me if I'm wrong, you go to Abby, you make sure she's okay.
Correct.
And then you turn around and Dave confronts you.
Right. He did something, he just never missed a beat and smacked me across the face.
Okay. Did knock your hat off?
Yes.
Okay, what did you do then?
I grabbed him around his shoulder, pushed him back to his car, and I hit him.
Did you say anything to him?
I didn't say one word to him. I told him not to put his hands on my wife.
Okay. How many times did you hit him?
Twice.
Okay. Did you hit him when he was on the ground?
I did not.
Okay, where did you physically, on his body physically, where did your
It would be on the left side of his face.
Okay. Forehead or what?
Yes.
Okay. What happened after you, so what did you didn't continue making physical contact with him, or you separate?
He was on the ground up in his car. That's when Mr. Boggs came around, and he said, you should be ashamed hitting on someone half your size. And I said, well, he should have put his hands in my wife's face, pushed her, and smacked me. And I did shake his hand.
Why did you shake his hand? Did you say you're sorry, or?
I don't remember if I said sorry. I remember shaking his hand.
Why'd you shake his hand?
I can't answer that. Just
Okay. Did you escalate or have any other further confrontation with anyone after you hit Mr. Wentz twice?
No, Abby had already got in the car. I got in the car, we were taking a picture of our license plate, We left Scotttown diner and went to my in-laws for Christmas Eve. We had to be there between 1 and 2.
Why did you hit someone you got involved with?
Why did I hit him? Because he got physical with my wife and me.
Okay. Would you hit him if not Dave made physical contact with you initially?
I honestly probably wouldn't have hit Dave for even pushing at me, but when he done that and smacked me, that's when I got aggravated.
Okay. Why did you think that escalated? I mean, I know it's hard to express sometimes, it happens so quick in your mind, but what was the difference even between when you see, your wife's very small,
She's tiny.
seeing that versus why did you say you were sure you were going to hit him? What made you sure, like, it's necessary for me to take this action?
When he hit me, I didn't want to have any conflict with him when he pushed her, like I said, because he is an older gentleman, and we've never had any issues at all. But when he smacked me across the face, that kind of drew the line.
How do you know Chris Thompson? Explain it, your nature of your all's relationship, your history with him.
Okay, I work out local 1090, Millwright Hall. A friend of mine, Mitchell Stanford, me and him carpooled together, because we're driving about an hour and 20 minutes to work. And Mitchell is from the Wilkes area, so he knew Chris. When we would pass Chris in the parking lot stuff at work, Mitchell would talk to him. I never knew Chris Thompson at all. Mitchell kept saying he lives out there by us. I had no idea who he even was.
Was this when this is Prior Creek? Yes. Is this prior, was that with Early or?
Yeah, I'm still up there with Early.
Okay, how long have you been there?
4.5, 5 years.
Okay. So, there's been questions about how Chris Thompson came into this whole ordeal.
Right.
So explain from the time you leave to when you think it's necessary to maybe retain a lawyer, do all these things. Explain what happened and how you did get in contact with Chris Thompson.
I called down here on my own will to see if, kind of explain the incident to one of the ladies that worked the front desk, told them what had happened, and she said, as of right now, there's no pending charges, so they don't have anything.
Why did you think that there might be pending charges?
Because law enforcement was involved.
Okay. What was that? You were aware they came to your house when you were home?
Yes, we have security cameras.
Okay.
We see them. There was two vehicles pulled in, two gentlemen, I'm assuming possibly, those two black Ford Explorer SUVs. But we, like I said, we was at the in-laws for Christmas.
Okay. Then what happened after you called down here?
They told me there was no charges.
Okay.
So that's when we got in contact with you.
Okay.
And I think you called the courthouse possibly to see if anything had been filed.
Okay. Did you, prior to you acting on actions to try to locate witnesses, how did you become aware that there was a potential that part-time employee or employee, whatever, Generations Propane, that may have witnessed it? Did you notice a probation propane?
I seen the propane truck while he was there. Never thought nothing of it. And then, like Abby said, we get propane from them. And Chris had recognized Abby when he filled our tank and dropped the ticket off and said if we needed anything, to get hold of Generations and let them know. So that's when we started finding out the charges was being made. So I called Generations and we wanted to know who that was driving the truck.
And did Cody Gould, the owner, give you Chris's number?
He did.
Check the form, hearsay.
Okay.
I'm going out.
Did you offer, or do you have any benefit that you provided, whether it be financial or could be anything, to Mr. Thompson for his testimony here today?
No.
Okay. Explain
We've already missed multiple days of work over this.
Okay.
What
What about with your nephew and what's your knowledge of that or your interactions with that? Explain to the board.
My nephew, Connor, he recently started going to Sims Valley School. He switched from Cold Grove because my brother and sister-in-law moved closer to the district. Connor goes to Sims Valley, and he started talking to Casey. I knew of Casey Thompson. I did not have a clue who her parents were.
Okay. So have you ever had cause to interact with Chris Thompson because now you know his daughter dates your nephew?
No, if I would go to my brother's for any kind of event, I knew her as Casey Thompson. I did not know her parents. She had brothers too. I had no idea who she was or who her parents were.
And I'm sure you never meet, you agree that Kate is a very common name in Lawrence County?
Yeah, he mentioned one of the other Kates. I know the name, but they're not part of our immediate family. They're all over the place.
Did you go to Cold Grove or did you go to City Mountain? Where'd you go?
Cold Grove.
Cold Grove?
Yeah.
I have no further questions.
Cross.
Earlier, sir, you testified that when you responded to Mr. Boggs, you said, well, the older gentleman should never have touched my wife. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes.
Do you understand that your witness that you brought here, Mr. Thompson, he says that in response to Mr. Boggs, you said, if you want a little of what he just got, why don't you come on over here?
I think if I would have said that, Mr. Boggs would have told you that I said that.
Okay, well, what did you say?
I shook his hand. I don't think I said anything to him.
So my understanding is that you went to the Scotttown Diner. Had you been drinking that day?
No, sir.
You've been drinking that day, haven't you?
No, I have not been drinking.
It was Christmas Eve.
Holiday, I got to pick my kids up. I'm not going to drink and drive with children.
You were driving the car. You were in the passenger seat, correct? You were in the passenger seat and you got out of the car. You had a conversation with Mr. Went. You saw his wife and your wife arguing and you snapped. You threw him up against the car, you punched him twice, and you got in your truck and left, correct?
No.
You didn't stick around to see the cops.
No, I did
You
not.
didn't stick around to tell them your side of the story.
No.
Your wife doesn't give a statement until May, which is 6 months later, correct?
Correct.
You never give a statement.
I did not.
You go find this other witness 2 weeks later that just happens to be related to your family, Mr. Thompson, to come verify your side of the story, correct?
He's not related to family.
Yeah, so is your nephew Connor Kay?
He is.
And he's been dating Casey Thompson for 4.5 years?
That don't make him related.
Well, okay, then does he have another daughter named Kylie Thompson that's married to Ethan Kay? Yeah, so you have a family relationship with this man. You bring him in here, he just happens to verify your story, and he just happens to have testimony that discredits the other eyewitnesses. Don't you think that's strange, sir? You don't think it's strange at all? You don't think it's, why didn't you come talk to the police? You were protecting your wife and protecting yourself, but you
I
didn't
would object,
have...
Your Honor. He had a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Would you let somebody push your wife?
No, I wasn't. That's why, and what did you do when he pushed your wife?
I did.
You didn't do anything.
You're right.
You went to help her. That's your testimony.
That's
And you
what
got
I-
slapped by a
That's what I'm
60-year-old
supposed to
man.
do, is protect her.
You got mad, you were the aggressor, he didn't do anything at all to you, and you attacked him. Just tell the truth, you're under oath,
I'm telling you
sir.
the truth.
You're gonna have to look at yourself in the mirror for the rest
I
of
do
your life.
every morning, and I know what happened.
All right.
He smacked me in the face, that's when I hit.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true. Tell the truth right now under oath.
I'm telling the
Do
truth.
you believe in God?
Yes, I do. I'm telling the truth.
It's a misdemeanor. Just
Just like you
take
made false statements about me drinking.
Take responsibility for your actions. You're under oath in front of God and everybody else. It's a misdemeanor. Just say you hit him, you got mad and you hit him.
Oh, I done told you I hit him, and I told you
You
why.
hit him because you were aggressive towards him.
No, I was not.
You didn't do anything to your wife, and you didn't do anything to you.
He most certainly did.
No questions.
Redirect.
Nothing else.
You may step down to...
Defense rest, Your Honor.
Any rebuttal evidence from the state?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear you. I
I
apologize.
said any rebuttal evidence from the state?
No, Your Honor, I don't have any.
The defendant has rested. All right. The case is considered submitted. I will review. There's quite a few exhibits. Well, let's do this. All the exhibits that you want into evidence are admitted.
I have no objection against any of the exhibits of the state, Your Honor.
I don't actually think I just marked one, Your Honor. It was, I think it was Mr. Boggs.
One or two statements, I can't remember.
I think I marked Mr. Boggs' statement as State's Exhibit 1, and I'll move to admit it.
Okay.
No objection.
It'll be admitted. Then there, you had objections, and I have the list.
I'll withdraw my objections to the text messages.
Okay.
I'll make it easy.
So, yeah, all the defendant's exhibits are admitted also. I'll review this and issue a written decision.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks.
You can always feel the
Court's adjourned.
others. here. Just what, you guys got parking lot over here, just let them get out of here, he's probably gonna talk to you.
Oh, thanks, man, appreciate it.
Just don't leave them on the parking lot. You're good to go. You wanna see them? Sure, no problem.